Chapter 9:12. Jiazizai entered the clinic happily and asked with a smile. "What's the matter?" Jiazizai asked. "I just caught a wild animal today. It's a hare. It looks quite fat. I want to invite you to try it tonight," Jiazizai said. This morning, he saw a wild rabbit on the mountain. His interest was piqued, and he chased the rabbit all over the mountain. In the end, it was killed by him with a stone. Rabbits in winter were indeed quite fat. "Hare? No, you can eat it," Wang Yao said with a smile. He had just eaten one a few days ago. "I still have a lot of wine at home. Go and drink it." "No, I also have some," Jiazizai hurriedly said. After chatting for a while, he left. In the evening, a guest came. It was Sun Yunsheng. He had just come back from outside and was travel-worn. "Sir," Sun Yunsheng said. "Oh, you're here. Have a seat." Wang Yao smiled and poured him a cup of hot tea. "You just came back from outside?" Wang Yao asked. "Yes, it's the end of the year," Sun Yunsheng said with a smile. "I'm looking for some old customers to talk about cooperation next year. I've been around the country a lot. You look thinner recently. You should pay more attention to your health," Wang Yao said. "Hey, how have you been?" Sun Yunsheng asked. "Very good," Sun Yunsheng said. After staying there for a while, Sun Yunsheng left by car again. He had dropped by to have a look. He had to rush back to Dao City in the evening to discuss with his father what had happened these days. There were many important things involved in the development of the group in the future. The sky outside gradually darkened. The village was only half lit. When the lights were turned on at night, it could be seen that the village was mostly empty. The village was particularly quiet in the dark. Has the pharmaceutical company in town sold all the medicine? During dinner, Wang Fenghua asked about the pharmaceutical company. Wang Yao had told his parents that he had also invested in the pharmaceutical company in town. The amount was not small. He could be considered a major shareholder. Therefore, his parents were very concerned about the company. After all, their son had basically invested all the money he had earned these days. Fortunately, all the medicine has been sold. It's ready to produce the next batch of medicine, Wang Yao said with a smile. "That's good," Zhang Xiaoying said with a smile. "This medicine is not like other things. You must pay attention to the quality." Wang Fenghua reminded her. "Oh, I know," Wang Yao said. In recent years, food and medicine problems had emerged one after another. Food, milk powder, and vaccines. Some people dared to do anything in order to make money. They did not take the health of their countrymen seriously at all. It seemed that as long as they made money, the health of others had nothing to do with them. However, the country was now paying more attention to this aspect, which was a good thing. Although his parents had said so, Wang Yao considered one thing, which was the issue of anti-counterfeiting. He was confident about the efficacy of the medicine. As time went by, after it passed the market test, it would definitely have good sales. At that time, it was difficult to guarantee that no one would imitate it. After all, everyone knew that medicine was a profiteering industry. I have to discuss this with Zheng Weijun. After all, he was not very professional in this area. In Lianshan County, a family. "Old man, it's time to take the medicine." "Okay." An old man in his 60s came out of the house. He did not look very good. "Are you still not feeling well?" "It's the same as usual. I've warmed the medicine for you. It's on the table." "Got it." The old man went to the table in the living room and picked up the warm medicine to take. The medicine was a little bitter. "Hey, where are my eyes?" "It's in the drawer. I put it down and forgot about it." In the kitchen, a woman was washing the dishes. "Ah." The old man opened the drawer and took out his reading glasses. After putting them on, he began to read the instruction manual of the medicine. "What are you looking at?" His wife came out of the kitchen and asked. "I'm looking at the instruction manual of this medicine. This medicine is produced in our county." "Is that so? Does our county have a pharmaceutical factory?" The old woman was a little surprised. In her impression, pharmaceutical manufacturing was considered a high-tech thing. Their county was just a small county. It could only do things like mechanical processing. When did such a high-tech industry build up? "Well, it's this year." "No, it just opened this month," the man said. "A few days ago, it was broadcasted on the news in the county and the city. Many leaders went there. This is the first biopharmaceutical company in our county." "Is this reliable? There shouldn't be any problems with this medicine, right?" "What problems can there be? Look at the angelica, ginseng, and glossy ganoderma. Can these things kill people? The old man looked up at his wife. After all, it's a new place. I'm worried, his wife said. It's okay. Xiao Pan recommended it. I trust him. Well, you could try it. If you feel uncomfortable, stop immediately. Got it. The old man carefully read the instruction manual of the primordial spirit soup twice. Look at the medicine. It's okay. After watching TV for a while, the old man scalded his feet and washed his face. He then went to bed. People said that as people got older, they would sleep less and less. The amount of sleep one needed was inversely proportional to one's age. However, this was not the case for the old man. In fact, because of his poor health, he was a little sleepy. He fell asleep not long after lying in bed. Then, he got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Old people always had such problems. The next morning, the old man got up early. His wife also got up. How are you? Do you feel any discomfort? She didn't think that the medicine he drank the day before would work. As long as there were no abnormalities, it was fine. I'm fine, the old man said. Hey, I thought about it last night. Don't drink that medicine anymore. It's okay. Let's try it again. We have to support the local enterprises, right? Support? What about health support? His wife rolled her eyes at him after hearing that. After the old man had breakfast, he waited for a while. He drank the medicine according to the dosage. Then he went out for a walk. In the mountain village, Wang Yao didn't go down the mountain in the morning because he found that the herbs in the herbal field were a little abnormal. They were ordinary herbs, not licorice roots. In the herbal field, a considerable number of herbs bloomed overnight. They were red, pink, and purple. They were very beautiful. The spirit aura had become more intense. It had only been one night. That's strange. What happened last night? Wang Yao looked carefully. The herbs were very good. It was probably because the spirit aura had suddenly become much stronger that they bloomed overnight. San Xian, did you find anything unusual last night? Woof, woof. San Xian barked twice. He was very good last night. He didn't find anything unusual. Well, that's strange. Wang Yao then walked around Nanshan Hill with San Xian. He found that the spirit aura around them had changed. It had become stronger. Why did it become like this? He couldn't think of a suitable reason for the time being. Forget it. I'll take a closer look. He went from Nanshan Hill to Shishan Hill and came to the few dead places. They were still the same. The place was not big, but the spirit aura was very uncomfortable. It fell out of place. It was as if the rice was mixed with sand. The green bristle grass and dandelions planted around had withered because of the winter. It looks like no one has been here for a long time. There were more withered weeds around. The path that had been trampled was also full of withered weeds. It's best that no one has come. He didn't want anything to happen. In a valley of thousands of medicine, Lu Xiufeng asked with a cigarette in his mouth, what could happen? Didn't you notice that Miao Qingfeng ate very little when he ate with us? Old Yang, are you worried that he would poison us? That's right. Don't forget, they are professionals. Why? What's their purpose? Lu Xiufeng asked. Maybe it's just to take us down, Wang Yao said. We haven't found anything yet. We haven't found any evidence, but it doesn't mean that we won't find anything in the future. It's better to be safe than sorry. Your concern is not unreasonable, but we can't find anything useful here for a while. I'm not willing to leave just like that. We can't stay here without eating and drinking. If we came here with packed food and didn't eat what they provided, wouldn't it be obvious that we were suspicious of them? What do you think they would think? Would they still provide us with convenience? The suspect is from their stockade. He slipped away in front of my eyes. Miaoshi River and Miao Qingshan were there at the time. There were also other people. I think they should have been able to stop him, but they didn't and let him escape. Maybe it was all a show. The people in this stockade wrote and directed a show to fool us and make us leave early. Chapter 9:13. It's possible, and it's not small. Let's wait. Yang Guanfeng lit a cigarette. Wait for what? Wait for that person. Since someone had given them a surprising message at night, it was likely that he would give them a second time. Oh, that? Yes, that. The night was quiet. The entire stockade was very quiet. Most of the people had entered their dreams, except for a few people, such as Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng. The two of them were lying in bed, discussing things and waiting for the person who had delivered the message to them that night. I don't think he will come back in the first half of the night, Yang Guanfeng said. I'll sleep first. You listen carefully. Ah, that's not right, Yang Guanfeng said. I should be the one saying that. I see that you are quite energetic, Yang Guanfeng said. I'm a little tired. Well, you go to sleep first. After a while, Yang Guanfeng snored and fell asleep. He didn't know why, but he felt a little tired and tired. It was as if he was sleeping. Why hasn't he come yet? I'll go to sleep if he doesn't come. Lu Xiufeng was lying in bed. He was bored. He picked up his phone and read a novel. At around 10 o'clock, a small metal ball flew in from the outside and landed on the ground. He hurriedly got out of bed and picked up the small metal ball. He found that there was a small blank piece of paper inside. What does this mean? Write down our contact information. A voice came from behind him. D*MN. Old Yang, when did you wake up? Can you make some noise? You scared me. I'll be scared to death. Lu Xiufeng was really shocked. I just woke up. I saw that you were sleeping so soundly. I didn't expect such a small sound to wake you up. Don't talk so much nonsense, Yang Guanfeng said. Hurry up and write it down and throw it out. I guess the other party is waiting outside. He had fallen asleep just now, but it was a professional habit he had developed over the years. No matter how he slept, he could immediately get up and respond to a little sound. Lu Xiufeng didn't say any more nonsense. He quickly wrote down 2 phone numbers and stuffed them into the small iron ball. He threw them out of the window and listened quietly for a while. Strange. Why didn't I hear anything? He's gone. Yang Guanfeng lay back on the bed. Go to sleep. Hey, old Yang. You sure are patient, Lu Xiufeng said with a smile. The key step has been sold, Yang Guanfeng said. Next, it depends on what useful information this person can send us. Not long after, he began to snore. Yes. Not long after, Lu Xiufeng also fell asleep. The first message was sent early the next morning. At this time, most people were asleep. Lu Xiufeng was woken up by the vibration of his phone. He picked up his phone and saw that it was a message. The village is researching the elixir of immortality. Miaoshi River is in charge, and a few people are participating. They are conducting human experiments. Human experiments? Lu Xiufeng thought for a while and turned to look at Yang Guanfeng, who had not woken up. Old Yang? He called out softly. What's wrong? Yang Guanfeng immediately opened his eyes and touched his waist. Take a look. He handed the phone to Yang Guanfeng. Experiment? Yes. Where's the evidence? Location? Lu Xiufeng sent him a message. A moment later, the other party replied. Southwest of the back of the mountain. Not in the village. The two of them looked at each other. Southwest of the back of the mountain? This location is a bit vague. Lu Xiufeng frowned, which was rare. In fact, it did not matter if the location was vague. It was just a mountain. As long as they wanted to find it, they could always find it. If one day was not enough, they could always find it in 2 days. The key problem was that even if they wanted to find it, others might not let them. For example, the Miaoqing phone followed them all day long. From morning to night, except for going to the toilet and sleeping, he basically never left them. He appeared beside them at a moderate time. With such a follower, it was impossible for them to investigate the place alone. What should we do? Let's go and have a look tomorrow, Yang Guanfeng said. There was no good way to solve this problem. They were in someone else's territory. What's the reason? Think about it. You are good at this, Yang Guanfeng said. The next morning, as expected, the Miaoqing phone came early. Do you two have any plans today? He asked with a smile. Well, I want to ask, are there many wild animals on our mountain? Lu Xiufeng rubbed his hands. Wild animals? Captain Lu, do you mean you want to go hunting in the mountain? Ah, yes, that's what I mean, Lu Xiufeng said with a smile. Perfect. Yang Guanfeng thought to himself. In the past few days, Lu Xiufeng had given them the impression that he was so outgoing. He loved delicious food and wine. In fact, the impression he left in other places was the same. Because of this, many people reported to the provincial office that he was abusing his position for personal gain. Fortunately, several leaders in the provincial office knew his true ability and did not listen to the rumors. Therefore, Even if the people in the village had a channel to the outside world, their evaluation of the two of them was the same. Okay, no problem, the Miao Qing Feng said with a smile. He then prepared a bow, an arrow. With this, looking at the bow and arrow in his hand, Lu Xiufeng was a little surprised. Yes, we use this when hunting here. Ah, okay. Can you teach us how to use it first? No problem. The two of them quickly learned to use the bow and arrow. They then went up the mountain with the bow and arrow. What kind of wild animals are there in our mountain? There are deer, hares, wild boars, pheasants, and many kinds of wild animals, the Miao Qing Feng said. There are no fierce beasts like tigers or wolves, right? There are leopards and wolves, but no tigers, the Miao Qing Feng said. No way, do they eat people? Under normal circumstances, they will not take the initiative to attack people, especially in a group of 3 like us, the Miao Qing Feng said. However, under special circumstances, such as when we're near their nest and they happen to have cubs with them, they are very aggressive. If we get close, they will take the initiative to attack, the Miao Qing Feng said. Can you deal with it? Me? Yes, I can. Miao Qing Feng pondered for a moment and said, besides, even if I can't do it, don't both of you have weapons with you? No matter how fierce they can't be compared to guns. In fact, these beasts that can be seen are not the most terrifying. The most terrifying things in this jungle are the small things that are easy to ignore. For example, poisonous spiders, centipedes, snakes, and other poisonous creatures. Some of them are highly venomous. If you're not careful and get bitten, it will be fatal. From what you said, I don't think we should have come here, Lu Xiufeng said. As he spoke, he walked in the general direction of the forest. It's okay, I am here. You will be fine. The Miao Qing Feng smiled. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Suddenly, there was a noise not far away. Shoo! Lu Xiufeng made a shushing gesture and raised his head to look. He actually saw a wild boar. It was completely black, and it was snorting as if it was trying to dig something up. Wild boar, will our bows and arrows work? Lu Xiufeng asked softly. That won't do. Wild boars have rough skin and thick flesh. Although our bows and arrows can occasionally pierce through their skin, unless they happen to hit their eyes or other weak spots, they won't be able to cause fatal damage to them. They will only make them go crazy. What if you encounter this kind of wild boar when you are hunting? We usually smear a special poison on the arrowhead of the bow, an arrow, Miao Qing Feng said. After shooting it, it will faint. Then we kill it. But I didn't bring that kind of poison today. How about I shoot it? Lu Xiufeng took out his pistol. Put away. Yang Guanfeng glared at him. Just kidding, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. I'm a little unwilling to give up. This wild boar must taste good, right? It is good. You have eaten it before, the Miao Qing Feng said. Is that so? Was this part of the vegetables for the 2 nights? Yes. Forget it. Let's go. It won't take the initiative to attack us, right? It will, the Miao Qing Feng said. When it is frightened, the wild boar is very grumpy. Let's go. Let's be quiet. Don't disturb it. Otherwise, it'll be very troublesome. The 3 of them left quietly and continued to look for the next prey. Soon, they found another pheasant. Don't move, Lu Xiufeng said. I will do it. He drew his bow and knocked an arrow. As expected, the arrow missed. The pheasant flapped its wings and tried to fly away, but the arrow pierced its body. It flapped its wings a few times and stopped moving. Good archery. The Miao Qing Feng gave him a thumbs up. You flatter me. I have been practicing since I was a child, the Miao Qing Feng said with a smile. Chapter 9:14. Pardon me for asking, but can this kill people? Lu Xiufeng asked with a smile. The Miao Qing Feng was stunned. Well, of course. Haha, I'm just asking. Don't take it too seriously. Lu Xiufeng patted him on the shoulder with a smile. The latter just smiled. Of course, he would not take it seriously. They never used this kind of thing to kill people. It was too rude. Of course, this kind of thing could only be known in his heart. He could not say it out loud. They chased after their prey and went deeper into the jungle. What's that smell? Yang Guanfeng suddenly stopped. Smell? Lu Xiufeng and the Miao Ching Feng also stopped and sniffed carefully. It was a very familiar smell. What was this? The smell of a corpse. The three of them followed the direction of the smell. In the depths of a jungle, they found a corpse in the weeds under a tree. It was a smelly corpse. Although the body had begun to smell, they could see two obvious wounds on the body. One was on the abdomen and the other was on the neck. What's going on? The three of them stepped forward. The time of death is about 7 days ago. The fatal wound is on the neck. The throat was cut quickly and accurately, Lu Xiufeng said after examining the body. Is this someone from your stockade? No, the Miao Qing Feng said after looking carefully. If I remember correctly, there shouldn't be any other strongholds within 100 miles of here, right? No, our stockade is the only one. Now, there's another murder case near your stockade, Lu Xiufeng said. He obviously did not commit suicide. We are willing to cooperate with the investigation, the Miao Qing Feng said. The sudden appearance of the corpse disrupted all their original arrangements, including the original plan of Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng. Sorry, we need to discuss it. Then, the two of them went to the side to discuss in a low voice for a while. They felt that this was a good opportunity. With the sudden appearance of the corpse, they could have a suitable reason to continue to go deeper into the jungle, especially the place they had received the news pointing to. Let's search around and see if we can find other clues, Lu Xiufeng said to the Miao Qing Feng. This will require your cooperation. After all, we are not familiar with this place. Okay. Miao Qing Feng agreed without any hesitation. They then began to search the forest. Soon, they found a dagger with dried blood on it. This is a murder weapon. Lu Xiufeng bent down and carefully looked at the blade of the dagger. Continue. They continued their search. Wait, Miao Qing Feng suddenly said. What happened? Try not to go forward, he said as he looked at the forest in front of him. Why? There's something poisonous inside. It's very scary, the Miao Qing Feng said. Even the people in our stockade rarely go in. There were even people who were seriously injured because they accidentally entered. Is that so? Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng looked at each other after hearing that. According to the information they had received, the place where they conducted the experiment was somewhere in the forest in front of them. However, the Miao Qing Feng stopped them at this time. Either he was telling the truth, and there was something terrible inside, or he was afraid that they would go in and see those things. Obviously, the latter was more likely. Even you can't go in? Lu Xiufeng asked. No. The Miao Qing Feng shook his head decisively. How about this? Let's go in and have a look. If we find anything unusual, we will retreat immediately, Yang Guanfeng said after thinking for a moment. Isn't it too dangerous? Lu Xiufeng asked. It is indeed too dangerous, the Miao Qing Feng said. How about this? Let's go back to the stockade first. I will report the situation here to the chief. Then, I will ask him to send people in the stockade to accompany you and prepare the medicine to get rid of the poisonous insects. It will be safer this way. Let's go in and have a look. Yang Guanfeng continued to move forward. Lu Xiufeng followed behind. Captain Yang, I found something. Not long after they left, they found a set of blood-stained clothes. The bloodstains on the clothes had already dried up. Lu Xiufeng squatted down and looked at it carefully. He then gestured. It's not the one who died just now. The body shape is not right. This person's body shape is much shorter and thinner than the one just now. He is also injured. I see it. There is blood here. Yang Guanfeng found blood in the weeds on the ground. Be careful. The three of them slowed down significantly. They followed the intermittent bloodstains. After walking for a while, the bloodstains suddenly stopped and did not connect again. What's going on? Here, he was simply bandaged, Yang Guanfeng said. The blood in the wound won't drop anymore. There are some torn clothes under the tree. There are also bloodstains on them. Brother Miao, are these the homespun clothes from your stockade? Lu Xiufeng asked as he picked up the torn clothes. The clothes worn by the people in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine were different from those worn by the people outside because they had no contact with the outside world. They were basically self-sufficient. They ate the food they grew and the livestock they raised. They were clothes made of homespun cloth woven by themselves. This kind of cloth could not be bought outside, and people outside would not wear clothes made of this kind of cloth. Yes, it's homespun cloth from the stockade. The Miao Ching Feng reached out and tried it. Are they from your stockade? I'm not sure about that. Let's keep looking. They continued to search in the woods. After walking for a while, they found a mountain with many rocks on it. What's that smell? It's the stench of a corpse, Lu Xiufeng said. Huh? Yang Guanfeng suddenly felt a pain in his calf. He looked down and saw a centipede. The centipede was more than 10 centimeters long. It was biting his leg. Its black carapace was like steel. Oh no! The Miao Ching Feng was shocked. He quickly pulled out a dagger from his waist and cut off the centipede. Captain Yang, how do you feel? I feel numb here, and my head is a little dizzy. This kind of centipede is highly poisonous, the Miao Ching Feng said anxiously. Take this first. He took out a pill from his pocket and asked Yang Guanfeng to take it. He then carried him back. We have to get back to the stockade quickly. We'll be in trouble if we're late. Let's hurry up then, Lu Xiufeng said. At this point, they could not continue with the next step of the plan. They could only return to the stockade to treat Yang Guanfeng's injuries. The Miao Ching Feng was very fast. He shuttled through the dense jungle like an agile leopard. Lu Xiufeng followed behind him. He was alone, and the man was carrying another person. He could barely keep up. Phew, this guy is a martial artist. Lu Xiufeng thought. He could see something from the man's steps. Captain Yang, Captain Yang? The Miao Ching Feng kept calling Yang Guanfeng as he ran. Yang Guanfeng was very dizzy. His body was cold, and he began to tremble. He's trembling. I know, the Miao Ching Feng said. This is a sign of poisoning. Can you go faster? Go back and treat him first. Don't worry about me, Lu Xiufeng said. He was really anxious and worried about his good friend. No, I can't leave you here alone, the Miao Ching Feng said. It's too dangerous. Any poisonous snake or centipede can kill you. Don't worry. I've given him an antidote. It can temporarily suppress the toxin and prevent it from spreading so quickly. They hurried through the dense jungle. After a while, Lu Xiufeng was sweating profusely and out of breath. However, the Miao Ching Feng, who was carrying Yang Guanfeng, did not slow down. His breathing was very even. Finally, they came to the stockade. Just like the stockade, he carried Yang Guanfeng and went straight to the residence of the Miaoxi River. Sir, what's wrong? It was another person who came out. It was a young man who often accompanied him. Captain Yang has been poisoned. Come in. The voice of the Miaoxi River came from inside. They hurriedly carried Yang Guanfeng into the house. Sir, what's the matter? Captain Yang was bitten by a centipede. The Miaoxi River glanced at the wound. The place where he was bitten was red and swollen. Is it a red-headed centipede? Yes. How could you be so careless? The Miaoxi River asked. It's all my fault. I didn't take good care of them, the Miao Ching Feng said. Go and get the medicine. The Miaoxi River said to the young man next to him. The latter quickly brought a small grayish-brown clay jar. The Miaoxi River took it and opened it. There was a greenish-black ointment inside. He took a little with his finger and smeared it on Yang Guanfeng's wound. He then took a little more and melted it with warm water. He fed it directly to Yang Guanfeng. Well, take him back to rest, the Miaoxi River said. He'll be fine in 2 days. Thank you, sir, Lu Xiufeng said. It's our duty. We didn't take good care of him, the Miaoxi River said. Well, he won't have any sequelae, will he? No. The Miaoxi River smiled and said, I've detoxified this kind of poison more than once. Chapter 9:15. That's good. I'm just worried, Lu Xiufeng said. Don't worry. I'm here. He'll be fine. Miaoxi's tone was very calm, but Lu Xiufeng was able to hear the absolute confidence in his words. Thank you. You're too kind, Miaoxi has said to Miao Ching Feng. This is what we should do. It was our mistake to have harmed our guests from afar. We really shouldn't have done that. Ching Feng, you have to be punished. Yes, Chief. Sigh. Chief Miao, we insisted on going hunting in the forest. That's why the accident happened. It has nothing to do with Brother Miao, Lu Xiufeng quickly said. Even if you went hunting in the forest, it's because he didn't take good care of you. He's not good enough, Miaoxi River said. Yes. Miao Qingfeng lowered his head and said, "It's the village's rule." This, Lu Xiufeng was embarrassed when he heard Miaoshi River's words. Okay, continue to take care of Captain Yang and the rest. Then, they came out of Miaoshi River's wooden house. Brother, I'm really sorry. I didn't expect this to happen, Lu Xiufeng said. It's okay. Don't take it to heart, Miao Qingfeng said. Chief Miao just said that you will be punished. According to the village's rules, what's the punishment? It's nothing. Miao Qingfeng smiled and waved his hand. Tell me. Lu Xiufeng lit a cigarette and insisted on listening. According to the village's rules, you will be flogged 30 times, Miao Qingfeng said. Flogged? Lu Xiufeng was stunned. Don't tell me it's the flogging like in TV shows? Dragging someone out and flogging them 20 times was a common scene in ancient movies and TV shows. Yes, that's it. Miao Qingfeng smiled. Damn, this is considered a private torture chamber. It's against the law. What do you mean by breaking the law? Captain Liu, I hope you don't mind me saying this. Your army has been doing this for hundreds of years. The people in our stronghold think that these rules are the so-called law. All these years, the people in the village have been abiding by the law. It's more binding than the law outside, the Miao Qingfeng said. Lu Xiufeng was stunned. Let's go back and see how Captain Yang is doing. When they returned, they found that Yang Guanfeng had already stood up and was walking slowly in the room. Hey, why are you standing up? Quickly lie down and rest, Lu Xiufeng hurriedly said. I'm fine, Yang Guanfeng said. I feel a lot better. My head is not so dizzy, but I still feel a little nauseous. It was worse when I was lying down just now. I think it's better to get up and move around. This poison is nothing in the eyes of the patriarch, the Miao Qingfeng said. He said 2 days. Captain Yang will definitely recover in 2 days, and his physical fitness might even improve by another level. Is that so? Is there such a benefit to being poisoned? That's because the medicine used by the patriarch is very magical, the Miao Qingfeng said. In addition to detoxification, it can also strengthen the body and strengthen the physical fitness of the poisoned person. Our stronghold has done some research on the nearby poisonous creatures. The red-headed centipede is a little strange. Most of the people in our stronghold who have been bitten by it have become better after recovery. Is that so? It's so magical. It makes me want to be bitten by the centipede, Lu Xiufeng said. Haha, the strengthening effect is actually limited, the Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. It's better not to use it. It's good that you're fine. The Miao Qingfeng sat in the wooden house for a while before leaving. How do you feel? Tell me the truth, Lu Xiufeng said seriously after the other party left. I'm fine, Yang Guanfeng said. I'm really much better than when I was on the mountain. My head is still a little dizzy, and my stomach is bloated. I feel nauseous and want to vomit. It's just that being poisoned this time is a bit of a coincidence. He sighed. Well, it's quite a coincidence, Lu Xiufeng said. Just as they continued to move forward and wanted to go up the mountain, they were bitten by the red-headed centipede. It was neither too early nor too late. It just happened to hinder their further investigation. Do you think the Miao Qingfeng deliberately made it to stop us? Lu Xiufeng asked. We can't rule out this possibility, Yang Guanfeng said. Of course, there is another possibility. There are a lot of these poisonous creatures nearby. It can be regarded as their defense, but all unfamiliar intruders will be attacked. The two of them were basically sure that there was something wrong with the mountain they had encountered in the forest just now because they had smelled the stench of a corpse. The two old criminal police officers were very familiar with the smell and were particularly sensitive to it. So, someone must have died in the mountain. How'd he die? Was it because of the so-called experiment? They didn't know. I think that even if you've recovered, they will do everything possible to stop us from entering the mountain, Lu Xiufeng said. Yes, maybe when we get close next time, there will be other accidents. What should we do? Let's wait and see if there is any news from that person. In an ordinary house in Lianshan County, thousands of miles away, old man, where are you going? To Xiaopan's place. What are you going to do there? Buy medicine, the old man said. Buy medicine? Where are you feeling unwell? The old man hurriedly asked with concern. I don't feel unwell, the old man said. I feel very comfortable. I think the medicine is almost finished, so I'll go out and buy another bottle. What medicine? Primordial spirit soup, the kind produced in the county, the man in his 60s replied. Is the medicine useful? It's useful, the old man said. I've been drinking it for 2 days. I feel warm and have some strength. It's much better than before. Isn't there still half a bottle left? Go and buy 2 more bottles, the old man said with a smile. In fact, he drank the medicine because he was angry with his son. Didn't his son say that the medicine didn't work? Then he had to drink it. Didn't his son want him to go to a big hospital outside for a checkup? Sigh. He didn't want to go. Old people sometimes acted like this when they were old. They had a childish temper. Were they old children? However, he didn't expect that after drinking it for 2 days, the medicine would actually work. He could clearly feel the changes in his body. He was energetic and had strength. Okay, take it easy, the old man said. Got it. The old man put on his clothes and went downstairs. He lived not far from Clinic. Xiao Pan. Uncle, you're here. What's the matter? Pan Mei asked with a smile. Yes, I want to get some medicine. Medicine? Where are you feeling unwell? I'm not feeling unwell, the old man said. It's just that I've almost finished the primordial spirit soup produced in our county. Give me another 2 bottles. Oh, that medicine? Please wait a moment. Pan Mei gave him 2 more bottles. Is this medicine useful for you? Yes, it's very effective, the old man said. Oh, that's good, Pan Mei said with a smile. She had heard about the origin of the medicine from her brother. It was a prescription provided by Wang Yao and produced by the pharmaceutical factory that had just been built in the county. It was considered a new medicine. In the entire Lianshan County, so far, it was only sold in their clinic. The price was not expensive, but it was not cheap either. The old man was the first patient to take the medicine. Now that she heard the old man say that the medicine was effective, she was very happy. Here you are. Okay, pay up, the old man happily said. I didn't expect the medicine produced in our county to be so good, the old man said. Yes, if you use it well. Do you have to advertise it? Of course, the old man said with a smile. In a mountain village dozens of miles away, in a small courtyard, Jia Zizai and Zhong Luchuan were sitting opposite each other. On the chessboard in front of them, the chess pieces were arranged vertically and horizontally. It was difficult to tell who would win. Jia Zizai thought for a long time before placing a piece. Oh, I didn't expect that. Senior, your chess skills have improved. Junior, I really don't understand, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. Why don't you play Go? Why do you have to play Gamoku? Hey, Senior, don't look down on Gamoku, Zhong Luchuan said. There's a lot of knowledge in it. Didn't the teacher once say that sometimes the simpler things are, the harder it is to master them? Zhong Luchuan did not say anything. The junior in front of him had only learned the simple and easy game of Gamoku because his chess skills were too poor. You lost. Zhong Luchuan placed a piece. 4 pieces were in a line. 2 pieces were unbeatable. Tisk, TSK, Jia Zizai said. Senior, you make me feel so unreconciled. I have never won a game of Go against you, Jia Zizai said. Is it possible that profound cultivation can promote the development of intelligence? Zhong Luchuan did not know how many times Jia Zizai had said this. Maybe it really can, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. Really, haven't you noticed that since practicing with the teacher, your thinking has become more agile and your memory has obviously improved? Zhong Luchuan asked. Is that so? I didn't pay attention to that, Jia Zizai said. I paid attention to it, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. The reason why he paid attention to it was that he had practiced early and entered the right path early. He had read the Taoist scriptures early. Some of the original Taoist scriptures were quite difficult to pronounce. When he first read them, he felt a little awkward. As his practice deepened, he found that the more scriptures there were, the smoother they became. They were very easy to imprint in his mind, even if the scriptures were unfamiliar to him. He then tried other articles and found that his memory had improved a lot. He could not say that he had a photographic memory, but it was really strong. My body has become stronger, and so has my memory, Jia Zizai said with a smile. It can also prolong my life. Hey, Do you think the teacher is teaching us the way to live forever? I don't dare to dream of living forever, Zhong Luchuan said. I estimate that with such practice, it is absolutely easy to live for more than 100 years without illness or disaster. Chapter 9:16. So confident? Zhong Luchuan looked up at Jia Zizai and asked, I am confident, and I believe in Sir Moore. What do you think of Sir? How should I put it? He is a top figure, Jia Zizai said. He is a person blessed by heaven. I think Sir can live for at least 200 years, Zhong Luchuan said. How can you tell? Jia Zizai was not particularly surprised by the number. She was curious about how Zhong Luchuan could tell. It's just a feeling, Zhong Luchuan said. Feeling? Is it this kind of nonsense again? Jia Zizai asked with a smile. Have you seen Sir's parents? I have seen them a few times. Why? Take a closer look next time, Zhong Luchuan said. The two elders are getting younger and younger. Really? I haven't paid much attention to that, Jia Zizai said. You haven't really started yet, Zhong Luchuan calmly said. When you start, you will know what Sir is teaching us. As his practice became more and more profound, he realized how magical the breathing and expiration method that Wang Yao had taught him at the beginning was. It was not only for physical exercise and improvement, but also for spiritual improvement. Zhong Luchuan himself had a feeling that the path he was taking was the cultivation of immortality in novels. What was the biggest difference between immortals and mortals? It was not the ability of immortals to summon the wind and rain. It was that immortals could live as long as the sky. The longer they lived, the more opportunities they had to come into contact with extraordinary things, acquire extraordinary skills, and master extraordinary abilities. Our power is only limited in our bodies, Zhong Luchuan said. We can't exert our power. Sir's power can already communicate with this world. Listening to what you said, why do I feel that you are purely discouraging my enthusiasm? Jia Zizai asked with a smile. I didn't mean that, Zhong Luchuan said after taking a sip of tea. I was just sighing. Moreover, Sir said that our cultivation is just following our hearts. Here, we can quietly read books, chant scriptures, drink tea, play chess, and watch the sun rise and set. How leisurely and carefree is that? What's wrong with that? I finally understand why senior brother's progress is so fast. Mei, who came over to help them store water, said with a smile. But this state of mind is not something we can compare to. Zhong Luchuan smiled and said to Jia Zizai, You flatter me, junior sister. You are also not satisfied with your progress, but some people have to hurry up and work hard. Among the three of them, Jia Zizai's cultivation was the lowest. Even Mei, who entered the sect later, had surpassed him. This was because Mei's temperament was better than his. Her heart was calmer, which was in line with the essence of cultivation. Don't worry. It's nothing to be ashamed of being surpassed by my wife, Jia Zizai said. Jia Zizai said, Right now, I'm indifferent to both favor and disgrace, and then I'll pursue the realm of tranquility like water, just like you, senior brother. That would be best. In the clinic, Wang Yao was reading a medical book. It was a medical book that he had just bought from the internet. It was full of mistakes. As he read, he corrected it. He sighed and said, This kind of book can actually be published. It's really misleading. Ring. The phone on the table rang. It's me. Well, okay. After hanging up the phone, he continued to read. Clack, clack. The clock hanging on the wall was incessantly ringing. The hands of the clock turned steadily, pointing to one number after another. When it was 3:30 p.m., there was a knock on the door. Come in, Wang Yao shouted. A moment later, a person came in. Hello, Mr. Wu, Wang Yao said. The person who came in was Wu Tongxing, the one from the Wu family. He had not been there for a long time. The old man's condition is not good. Wang Yao looked up and glanced at him. Yes, it's very bad, Wu Tongxing said. He came in a hurry because of his father's illness. According to reason, he had reached that age and could pass away. However, as his children, they wanted to do a little more to let him live for 2 more years, even if the 2 more years might be a kind of torture for him. a painful torture. When the time comes, why do you insist? Wang Yao said, we still won't be filial. At this time, Director Wu had completely lost the momentum of a superior. He was just a filial son. There's no time. Come back tomorrow, Wang Yao said. Okay, thank you. Hearing Wang Yao agree, Wu Tongxing was very happy. He was afraid that Wang Yao would not agree this time. That would be the most troublesome thing. Is the old man in a lot of pain? Very bad. Wang Yao did not speak. Wu Tongxing put down a cup of tea and left. He had seen the old man in the Wu family. He and Wang Yilong had the same disease, but the position of the disease was different. However, the disease was more severe. In addition, he was too old now. The magic of Wang Yao's magic medicine was that he could live until now. Let's try again. If the old man in Jing could be in the mountain village at this moment, Wang Yao could use a combination of medicine and acupuncture to cure the old man's terminal disease, just like Wang Yilong. However, the old man's identity was different after all. It was unlikely that he would leave Jing at this time and come to such a small mountain village in a small county. I'll decoct a few more medicines. Wang Yao thought. Thousands of miles away, in the Su family's house in Jing. Brother, why are you free today? Song Ruiping poured water for the man with a smile. I have something to ask you for help, Wu Tongrong said with a smile. His brother had gone to Lianshan County to find a doctor. He was still worried. He knew the doctor and the Su family cared about him, so he came here to visit his mother-in-law. He wanted to ask for insurance. How is the old man's health? It's getting worse and worse. The doctor said it would be difficult for him to survive this winter. Wu Tongrong sighed. Brother, don't worry too much. Song Ruiping comforted him. I'm here to ask you to say something. What? Song Ruiping was startled. She instantly understood the purpose of his visit. You mean Yao? Yes, to be honest, I'm afraid Tongxing has already arrived in Lianshan County. I'm still worried that Dr. Wang won't help. That's easy to say, Song Ruiping said with a smile. Is Xianghua still so busy? Busy? So busy that he doesn't go home all day, Song Ruiping said. I know he likes tea. Try it. Thank you, brother. Song Ruiping made a phone call to Wang Yao in front of Wu Tongrong and explained the situation directly. I see, Annie. I've already seen Mr. Wu, Wang Yao said on the other end of the phone. Good. Don't worry. Yao said he'll prepare to decoct the medicine tonight. Good. Thank you. You're welcome. Wu Tongrong sat down and said a few words. After that, he left. Mayam, what about Mr. Wu? The woman next to her asked. I'm afraid it'll be difficult for him to survive this time. After all, he's over 90 years old and has that kind of disease. It's already very good that he can survive until now. Unknowingly, it was late at night. In Nanshan Hill, there was a dim yellow light. In the cottage, the firewood made a crackling sound. The unique fragrance of medicine drifted out of the house. Ganoderma lucidum, Angelica, plowgrass, Wang Yao was decocting the medicine. It cleared away heat, relieved pain, removed blood stasis, and balanced yin and yang. He turned the firewood unhurriedly and quietly looked at the color of the Chinese medicine soup in a multifunctional pot for herbs. Could a part of the spirit in the mountain be integrated into the medicine soup? This was not the first time he had thought about this question. Think about it, give it a try. The next morning, Wu Tongxing came very early. He came before the door of the clinic was opened. He didn't sleep well last night. He called home after 10 o'clock to ask the healthcare doctor about his father's situation. He was worried the old man's life was hanging by a thread. He was relieved after hearing that he was fine for the time being. Director, don't worry too much. The secretary who came with him softly comforted him. Okay, Wu Tongxing just responded. It would be great if I could invite Wang Yao to Jing City. What a pity. He sighed. He's here. Chapter 9:17. He saw Wang Yao coming from the mountain road. Wu Tongxing got out of the car and waited outside. Mr. Wu, you came early? I just arrived not long ago, Wu Tongxing said with a smile. You didn't sleep well last night, did you? I'm still worried about the old man's health, Wu Tongxing said. If you want to take the medicine from Wang Yao and immediately fly back to give it to the old man. It would be better if he could persuade Wang Yao to go to Jing to see the old man. However, he had asked Wang Yao the day before. He had no plans to go to Jing for the time being, so he could only give up. The medicine is ready. Wang Yao handed the medicine he had brewed the night before to Wu Tongxing. Thank you. Wang Yao told him how to use the medicine. There were still two kinds of medicine. One medicine was regather soup, which consolidated the corporeity and strengthened the old man's current physique. The old man was now a lamp that had run out of oil. The only thing that could be done now was to add more lamp oil so that the lamp would not go out immediately. The second medicine was a medicine that could relieve pain, clear heat, and treat carbuncles and ulcers. The two medicines were used in combination with each other. Thank you. Wu Tongxing expressed his gratitude. Come in and have a seat. No, I have to hurry back, Wu Tongxing said. The old man is waiting for the medicine to save his life. I'll come back another day to thank you. That's not necessary. Wang Yao smiled and said, Take care. Wu Tongxing got in the car and hurriedly left the mountain village. On Dongshan Mountain, the three of them were still practicing. I feel that the atmosphere on the mountain is getting better and better, Jia Zizai said. Breathing the air, there had a more comfortable feeling than smoking. Yes, it should be because of Nanshan Hill, where Sir is, Zhong Luchuan said. Their location was very close to Nanshan Hill. At this time, Nanshan Hill was still surrounded by fog. Logically speaking, such a low mountain, no, it could not even be called a peak, should not have such fog. Why do I feel that Nanshan Hill seems to be a little higher? Jia Zizai asked. Sir said that the mountain has been growing taller and has not stopped, Zhong Luchuan said. It was understandable for people and trees to grow taller. However, in their impression, unless there was a strong crustal movement, such as an earthquake or volcanic eruption, the height of a mountain should be maintained at a fixed height. Moreover, Nanshan didn't have any frequent crustal movements. That's all for today. All right. The three of them went down the mountain together. When they passed by the clinic, they heard Wang Yao's voice coming from inside. Luchuan Zizai, come in. We didn't talk, did we? Jia Zizai asked. No. Sir should have heard the footsteps of the three of us. You can even hear that. Jia Zizai was surprised. Let's go. Sir's looking for us. The two of them pushed open the door and entered the clinic. Sir, did you just come down from the mountain? Wang Yao put down the medical book in his hand. Yes, I just came down. I have something to ask you, Wang Yao said. Go ahead. I want to see the effect of the medicine you have taken during this time. During this time, Wang Yao had been giving the three of the medicine to detoxify, avoid miasma, and eliminate poisonous insects. He had tested it once some time ago. Now, the three of them had a considerable resistance to these toxins. It could be said that they were basically immune to all poisons. Today, he wanted to try another effect. He wanted to see if the poisonous insects would take the initiative to retreat when they encountered them and not dare to approach. I'll do it, Jia Zizai said without hesitation. All right. Wang Yao took out a glass bottle with a few small insects in it. They were the poisonous insects caught from the hot spring in Lajiagu. Wang Yao opened the lid of the bottle. Put your finger in and see. Jia Zizai put his finger in. Then, a scene that surprised him happened. The insects were a little flustered. They seemed to have noticed something and hid in the corner furthest away from his finger. Jia Zizai saw this and put his finger closer to them. As a result, the insects rushed in the other direction. After repeated testing several times, he was sure that they were very disgusted by the finger that was put in. They did not take the initiative to attack like before. It seems to be working, Wang Yao said. Let's try again. Wang Yao changed another bottle. There are also several small black insects in it. These were the ones he caught from the West Mountain. These insects were very fierce. They would take the initiative to attack when they saw living creatures. However, the effect was the same. They took the initiative to retreat. Very good. Wang Yao smiled. This had already achieved his goal. The medicine given to the three of them had worked. It had made some changes in their bodies. Do we still need to continue to take the medicine? Jia Zizai asked. He did not dislike taking medicine, but the taste of the medicine was not very good. At least, it was much worse than wine. It was best not to take it. Not for the next few days. Let's wait a few days and see if the effect of these two medicines will fade, Wang Yao said. Okay. After the two of them left, Wang Yao recorded the effect of the medicine test. This was a brand new trial, and it proved that it was effective. So far, there were no side effects. They didn't even have diarrhea. It's safe to use. Then, he decocted another dose and took it home at noon. Why are you taking medicine for no reason? Zhang Xiaoying muttered when she heard her son asking her and her husband to take medicine. Mom, this medicine is not ordinary. Wang Yao said, how is it not ordinary? Can it make me more beautiful after taking it? Well, that's not it, Wang Yao said. Mom, if you want, I can try to make it. Well, what is the effect of this medicine? Well, after drinking it, you will be immune to poison, Wang Yao said. And you will not be bitten by mosquitoes. Really? Zhang Xiaoying was stunned when she heard this. She put aside the fact that she was immune to poison. What kind of poison could there be here? However, the benefit of not being bitten by mosquitoes was real. The most annoying thing in summer was the buzzing of mosquitoes at night. They would take a bite whenever they had the time. Well, have I ever lied to you? Wang Yao asked with a smile. Okay, drink it, Zhang Xiaoying said. The medicine was very bitter. Well, it's so bitter. The poison given to his parents was different from the one he had given to Zhong Luchuan. Considering the health of his parents, he deliberately adjusted the medicine to make it more gentle and not burden the organs of the body. Your father is in the house. Okay. After entering the house, Wang Fenghua drank it without hesitation. In another courtyard in the mountain village. What are you doing? Where did the snake come from? Hume looked at her husband in surprise. Jia Zizai was holding a small snake in his hand. I found it in the mountains a few days ago, Jia Zizai said with a smile. At this time, the snake should be hibernating, Hume said. Why are you disturbing its rest? I just want to try again, Jia Zizai said. Hey you. Hume rolled her eyes at him. The result did not disappoint Jia Zizai. He did not know if it was because of the winter or other reasons, but the snake seemed reluctant to move. When Jia Zizai put it on the ground, as soon as he got close to it, the snake would take the initiative to swim away and go to other places. Honey, shall we keep this snake? How can we keep a snake? Hume asked. Get rid of it quickly and put it back where it came from. Otherwise, I'll chop it up. She did not have any good feelings for snakes, insects, rats, and ants. Okay, I'll put it back in the afternoon, Jia Zizai said. What kind of medicine do you think Sir gave us? Hume asked. It can really make us immune to all poisons and poisonous insects. How would I know? It's definitely not an ordinary herb, Hume said. Do you think Sir also has a kind of medicine that can make our cultivation soar after taking it? Jia Zizai asked. You're thinking nonsense again, Hume said. Didn't Sir say that there is no shortcut on the road of cultivation? It can only be done step by step, except for special opportunities. Don't have any illusions. Chapter 9:18. After one night, the sun shone brightly. After being cold for about a week, the weather suddenly warmed up a lot. It was already like this in the north. The temperature in southern Yunnan was even more comfortable, and the sun looked even brighter. However, Guozhenghe was in a very bad mood because something had happened in He County again. Another person had died. 3 people had died all of a sudden. The 3 people who had eaten together had been poisoned this time. It was obvious that they had been poisoned. The owner of the restaurant had been taken into custody. The restaurant owner was completely dumbfounded. How could this be? How could this be? He kept repeating that sentence. After a preliminary investigation, the suspicion of the restaurant could be ruled out because the raw materials they used were not problematic. So, how could the 3 people have been poisoned? The criminal investigation experts in the province were also having a headache. The original case had not been solved, and now there was a new problem. Let's figure out what kind of poison it is first. This was the first direction they determined. For this reason, they had sent the blood samples of the deceased in the previous 3 cases to Jing for analysis by a specialized laboratory. They had already come to a preliminary conclusion. The people who died in the 3 cases were all poisoned by the same toxin, but the measurements were different. The blood samples of the deceased in the 4th case were sent to Jing as soon as possible. How could such a thing happen in such a small county? Stop complaining. We are here to solve this problem. I don't know if those 2 have made any progress. In a valley of thousands of medicine, hundreds of miles away, what? Someone died again? Yang Guanfeng, who received the news, was very surprised. Lu Guanfeng lit a cigarette and smoked silently. All right, I got it. We have some gains here, but there is no breakthrough progress. Yang Guanfeng hung up the phone after saying a few words. Something happened in He County again. 3 people suddenly died while eating in a restaurant. They were poisoned. I don't think it was done by the people in this stockade to commit a crime against the wind at this time, Lu Xiufeng analyzed. We are still investigating here. As long as they're not stupid, they would not do such a thing. Are they framing us? Yes, most likely, Yang Guanfeng said. What about the incident on the mountain in the forest 2 days ago? There must be some unspeakable secret in this village, but it should be different from that case, Lu Xiufeng analyzed. Yang Guanfeng also lit a cigarette. I think that even if the case outside has something to do with the people here. He blew out a smoke ring. They did that to lure us here, take our hands, and unveil the mystery here, Yang Guanfeng said. Most likely, those people are still from this stockade. They are just another group of people who have a deep hatred for the Miaoxi River. Well, I agree with your analysis, Lu Xiufeng said. Unfortunately, the Miaoxi River has absolute authority here, Lu Xiufeng said. The people in this stockade are too conservative. As Miao Qingfeng said, they abide by the rules that have been passed down for hundreds of years. Those things are more binding than the law. We are outsiders. It is normal for them to reject and doubt us. In addition, there may be eyes and ears everywhere in this stockade. Even if there are individual people who have other ideas and have opinions about the Miaoxi River, they would not dare to express it. Who is that person? Why don't we try making a phone call? No. Lu Xiufeng shook his head. It's too risky. A spy could play a huge role at a critical moment. Even though they still didn't know what the spy was thinking and whether he wanted to kill them with a borrowed knife, they still didn't know. Well, what a headache. Lu Xiufeng lay on the bed and stared at the top of the wooden house. The people outside are constantly killing people. Their purpose is to lead us to pay attention to this stockade. Now that we are here, we can't find anything useful. No matter what secrets there are in this stockade, those who keep killing innocent people outside deserve to die the most, Lu Xiufeng said. His low voice was full of anger. Maybe we can talk to Chief Miao tomorrow, Yang Guanfeng said. Talk to him? Talk about what? Talk openly and honestly, Yang Guanfeng said. Ask him to send someone out with us to solve the case outside first. But what if our judgment is wrong? Is this matter really related to him? Then we will still give ourselves away, Yang Guanfeng said. We have to keep an eye on him as much as possible. Even if we continue to stay here, there won't be any entry points. If we make any more progress, I'm afraid both of us will have to lie down. Okay, it's settled then, Lu Xiufeng said after thinking for a while. They had been there for several days and found some problems. They also had some inferences, but there was no evidence for these problems and inferences. They were purely logical inferences. In the wooden house in the middle of the stockade. Did someone die again? Yes, 3 more died. Well, the people outside are really incompetent, a middle-aged man said in a muffled voice. It's not that they are incompetent, Miaoxi River said. It's just that the opponent is too cunning. Chief, why don't we send someone out to help? How can we help? Miaoxi River asked. If we really send someone out, we may be treated as an important suspect, Miaoxi River said. Moreover, the enemy is in the dark, and we are in the open. If we really get into trouble, we won't be able to explain ourselves. If he had known that it would lead to such problems, he would have eliminated the source of the problem and not left any hidden dangers. You guys go down first. Let me think about it. Yes. Miaoxi River sat there with his eyes closed and meditated. The next morning, the sun rose above normal. Early in the morning, Yang Guanfeng and Lu Xiufeng found out about Miao Qingfeng and said that they wanted to see Miaoxi River. Please come with me. After seeing Miaoxi River, they told him their purpose for coming. Well, I'll send someone to help you, Miaoxi River said. He agreed to their request after thinking for a while and sent 2 people out. One of them was their old friend, Miao Qingfeng. The other was a middle-aged man named Miao Changhong. They left the stockade in the morning. Yang Guanfeng drove straight out and arrived at the county after 8 o'clock that night. At night, the small county was very quiet, but the people living there were a little panicked. There had been a lot of rumors in the past few days. It was said that a terrible infectious disease had occurred in the county. So far, more than 20 people had died, and it was still spreading. The province had sent experts over, but they had not found a cure. Panic and rumors were very easy to spread. Bang! Guo Jinghe threw a cup. Master, calm down. Su Xingyan hurriedly tried to persuade him when he saw the situation. The experts from the province have not made any progress, Yang Guanfeng said angrily. If people continue to die, it will alarm Jing. Su Xingyuan was silent after hearing that. He knew the stakes involved. If Jing knew about it, this matter would be completely impossible to suppress. At that moment, a phone call came in. Well, okay, I got it. Okay, I agree, Guo Jinghe said. Chapter 919. After hanging up the phone, Guo Jinghe took a sip of tea and turned to Su Xingyuan. Have you heard about what happened in the county? I heard about it. I'm sorry, young master. What do you have to be sorry about? It's none of your business. Guo Jinghe smiled. I'm not doing my job well. There hasn't been any substantial progress so far. I haven't been able to help young master, Su Xingyuan said. His purpose of coming here was to help Guo Jinghe solve the problem, but so far he had indeed played a limited role. At the very least, he only had a clue about the continuous poisoning deaths, but he had no specific way to solve them. Uncle Su, you don't have to blame yourself at all for this matter. The criminal investigation experts from the province have been here for a while. They are also badly battered and have made no progress, Guo Jinghe said with a smile. But Uncle Su, I'm very angry. These people are simply too arrogant. They have no regard for the law and treat human lives like grass. Guo Jinghe lit a cigarette. He rarely smoked. He would only light 2 cigarettes when he was very happy or very unhappy. This time, it was obviously the latter. There was one more thing he didn't say. This is his territory. Yes. Su Xingyuan nodded. No matter who the other party was or what their purpose was, this was indeed extremely arrogant. They were openly going against the state's public weapon. They were courting death. However, there was nothing they could do in a short period of time. A few days ago, I asked you to take a break and relax temporarily. Now, I have to go back on my words, Guo Jinghe said. Young master, if you have any orders, just say it. I want you to do your best to investigate this matter. Use all the resources you have at your disposal. Tell me what you want to do, but can't, and I'll think of a way. In short, I want to know who did this. If I can't find out in a day, I'll use a week, a month, or even a year or 2. I want to know who did it and bring them to justice. Guo Jinghe said sternly. Yes, young master, Su Xingyuan replied. There is one more thing, Guo Jinghe said. I just received news that Yang Guanfeng, who is investigating in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, has come up with a way to seek help from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine has accepted their request and sent 2 people back with them to assist us in the investigation. He had just received a call to tell him the news. People from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Su Xingyuan frowned slightly. Yes, but they're the biggest suspects in these cases. Is it appropriate for them to get involved? I think this is Captain Yang's idea. They probably have other ideas. Guo Jinghe said, the 2 people who went to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine this time are the best criminal investigation masters in southern Yunnan. They seem to have gained something in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, but they don't have enough evidence. The suspect last time was also not caught. With the 2 masters working together, it's impossible that they didn't do anything. Harvest? Young master, do you know what the harvest is? I don't know. Guo Jinghe shook his head. They have arrived. In He County, there were 4 people in a private room in a guest house. They were Lu Xiufeng and Yang Guanfeng, the 2 from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Miao Qingfeng and Miao Changhong. They had driven all the way to He County without taking a break. Now, they could finally relax and take a break. Want a cigarette? Lu Xiufeng took out a box of cigarettes. He pulled out a cigarette and gestured to Miao Changhong. Thank you, but I don't smoke. Miao Changhong waved his hand. TSK, you don't smoke either? Well, there are not many people in our stockade who smoke, Miao Changhong said. Those who do smoke smoke from tobacco pipes. Old Yang, here you go. Lu Xiaofeng handed the cigarette to Yang Guanfeng. People in their line of work were under a lot of pressure. They needed to release their pressure in certain ways. So, basically, people in their line of work like to smoke and drink. This time, I'll have to trouble the two of you, Yang Guanfeng said. Captain Yang, you are welcome, the Miao Qingfeng said. This time, helping you is actually helping ourselves. We also want to find the criminal as soon as possible and prove our innocence. He was telling the truth. Come on, let's have a drink. Lu Xiaofeng raised his glass. Cheers. After that, he raised his head and drank all the wine in his glass. The Miao Qingfeng and Miao Changhong also drank all the wine in their glasses. When we were in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, you were the one who entertained us. This time, it's our turn to entertain you. Of course, this time, we were in a hurry and didn't make any preparations. You guys should pay attention to it. At the table, Lu Xiaofeng was very good at talking. He was better than Yang Guanfeng in this regard. Captain Lu, you are too polite. It's already very sumptuous, the Miao Qingfeng hurriedly said. The four of them drank a few glasses of wine and ate some dishes. They then settled the Miao Qingfeng and Miao Changhong in the guest house. The two of you should have a good rest. Tomorrow may be very busy. Okay, the Miao Qingfeng said. Call us if you need anything. After that, the two of them left the guest house and went to another residence. After arriving at the residence, the two of them got together to discuss matters related to the case. These two people are led by the Miao Qingfeng. Lu Xiaofeng lit a cigarette. Yes, he should be selected by this stockade to deal with outside matters, Yang Guanfeng said. He could be regarded as a spokesperson of their stockade outside. The next key question is how we should play the role of the two of them to make a breakthrough in the case. This depends on the attitude of the two of them and how much real ability they have, Lu Xiaofeng said. I'm going to tell them the details of the case tomorrow, Yang Guanfeng said. Then, I'll take them to see the body of the victim. Well, I agree. In the guest house, the Miao Qingfeng and Miao Changhong also got together. What should we do? Miao Changhong asked. Although he was more than 10 years older than the Miao Qingfeng, he had to listen to the Miao Qingfeng, whether it was in or out of the stockade. According to the chief's instructions before we came out, we will do our best to cooperate with them to solve the case and try to find the murderer as soon as possible to prove the innocence of the stockade. At the same time, we have to pay attention to the way we do things. After all, we are outside, and there are two criminal investigation experts beside us. Try not to reveal too many of the stockade's unique secret techniques, the Miao Qingfeng said. Okay, I got it. The night passed peacefully. In the morning, the sun rose as usual. At 8 o'clock in the morning, the four of them gathered together. Yang Guanfeng and Lu Xiaofeng took the two people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine to the local police station and introduced them to their colleagues. They then told them the details of the whole case. After that, they took them to see the bodies of the victims that had not yet been processed. They were just frozen. After seeing the bodies, the two of them immediately became serious. Can we move the bodies? Yes. Yang Guanfeng nodded and took out the gloves he had prepared. Put these on. They then began to carefully examine the bodies. They examined all three bodies. It would have been better if we had come 2 days earlier, the Miao Qingfeng said after the examination was over. How is it? It's certain that they were poisoned. What kind of poison? It's hard to be sure. The Miao Qingfeng shook his head. After all, we didn't see what they looked like when they died. After all, the bodies have been frozen. Some things can't be seen after the freezing process. Yang Guanfeng was a little disappointed after hearing that. It didn't achieve the effect he had expected. He had thought that the two of them would be able to tell what kind of poison the victims had. While they were talking, Miao Changhong was still carefully pinching the muscles of the corpses and knocking on their chests and abdomens. What did you find? The Miao Qingfeng asked. It's a bit like the poison of the 5-poison stick, he said after thinking for a moment. In terms of medicine and poison, Miao Changhong was better than the Miao Qingfeng. After all, he was more than a decade older than the Miao Qing Feng. He actually had considerable talent in medicine and poison. 5 poison stick? What is that? It's a relatively common plant in the jungles of southern Yunnan, the Miao Qing Feng said. It can be used as medicine to disperse cold and relieve pain. However, it is highly poisonous. You must be careful when using it. If the dosage is wrong, it may endanger your life. Are you sure it's this? I'm just suspicious. After all, they've been dead for a few days, Miao Changhong said. Is there such a thing on the market? It's very rare. The pharmacies nearby won't use this kind of medicine. The Miao Qing Feng said. If you don't use it properly, you will get into big trouble. This is recorded in Chinese medicine books. Chapter 920. You don't usually use it? Lu Xiaofeng asked. Almost no one uses this kind of medicine, Miao Qing Feng said. There are too many medicinal herbs with the same effect that can replace it. The harm is much less. As long as one has a little common sense, they won't take the risk. This is a new discovery, Yang Guanfeng said. Is there anything else? The Miao Qing Feng looked at Miao Changhong, who was still examining the body. The latter shook his head. Not for the time being. Okay, Yang Guanfeng nodded. So what we have to do now is to consider this 5 poison stick. Okay, this is a point, Yang Guanfeng said. Check if this kind of medicine is on the record. Miao Changhong suddenly looked up and asked, Can I see their blood sample? Blood sample? Of course. Lu Xiaofeng was stunned, then smiled. They want to look at the blood sample. There was very little blood. After getting permission, Miao Changhong drank a little. Wow, will he be poisoned? No. The Miao Qing Feng shook his head. How is it? Miao Changhong closed his eyes and carefully felt it. He then shook his head. Sorry, I have to think about it. He quickly picked up the mineral water bottle to rinse his mouth. His tongue had begun to go numb, and his body was trembling a little. The Miao Qing Feng hurried to him and asked, Are you okay? It's not a big problem. Miao Changhong waved his hand. I need to take a break. I'm sorry, Captain Yang. It's okay. I'll arrange it right away. Soon, a car came and took them to the guest house so that they could go back and rest. Lu Xiaofeng followed them. Are you sure you don't need to go to the hospital? He found that Miao Changhong's face was slightly pale. I'm sure. I'll be fine after some rest. Okay, you rest first. Call me if there's anything. Okay. The two of them then left. After they left, the Miao Qing Feng asked, Are you really okay? 5 poison stick and wisteria, Miao Changhong said. Wisteria? Are you sure? The Miao Qing Feng was surprised. I'm sure. Miao Changhong nodded. How was that possible? All the medicinal herbs in the village are controlled, said the Miao Qing Feng in surprise. I can't be wrong, Miao Changhong said. I don't have any other skills, but I do have the ability to distinguish. That can only mean one thing. There's a mole in our village. It might not be someone from the stockade. Didn't a few people escape from the stockade? Some of them should know how to use these poisons, right? Miao Changhong asked. The chief is too soft-hearted, Miao Qing Feng said with a sigh. It has caused such a big hidden danger. Now, we can't explain it clearly. We are clearly the victims, but we have become the key suspects. Didn't the patriarch send us here to prove our innocence? How? Don't we know where those people are? Miao Changhong asked. Of course I know. What do you mean? Chapter 921. What a perverted and perverted way of thinking. You don't say. If you give me enough money, I can take a look at your illness, Wang Yao said with a smile. Look, you admit it yourself. You've revealed your foxtail. Isn't it all for money? The man smiled happily, as if he had known this would happen. Tell me, how much do you want? Name a price. 1 billion, Wang Yao said calmly. More. The man was stunned. He thought there was something wrong with his ears and that he had misheard. 1 billion in RMB. No, are you crazy about money? The man asked. What kind of illness requires so much money? It's enough to build a hospital. Do you know that? Aren't you rich? I am rich, but I'm not a fool. How about this? 100,000 yuan to cure my illness. All right, hurry up and leave. In your situation, you don't need to be cured. Wang Yao waved his hand. Continue to work hard. Well, is it okay to continue? The man was stunned. He felt that his body seemed to be getting worse and worse recently. Not only could he not get hard, but he also felt that his body had been hollowed out. Even if he took the Romania pill and a certain treasure tablet, it did not have any effect. If he wanted to get hard, he could only take the tiger and wolf medicine. It was indeed very effective in a short period of time. He regained his former masculinity and became a brave man. However, as time went by, he took more and more medicine, but the duration of the medicine's effect was getting shorter and shorter. His body was getting worse and worse. This was not a good sign. No problem. I guess it will only take more than a year, Wang Yao said. More than a year, and my body will automatically recover, the man asked. No, what I mean is that you won't have to worry about your health by then, Wang Yao said. Why? Because you'll be dead by then. After you die, you won't know anything. What's there to worry about? Wang Yao said with a smile. Are you King kidding me? The man was angry when he heard this. He stood up. His breathing was rapid, and there were beads of sweat on his forehead. TSK, TSK, TSK. Your body is really weak. Have you chosen a graveyard yet? If not, you'd better hurry up. Wang Yao wasn't angry, nor did he want to lower himself to his level. CKU. When the man heard this, he reached out to slap Wang Yao. Yo, who is this? How dare you make a move here? A man's voice came from behind him. Then he felt his knees go soft. He could not control himself. Then his whole body fell to the ground with a thud. What's going on? Why am I kneeling? He was baffled by his own kneeling. Hello, sir. It was Jia Zizai. Zizai, take this seriously ill person out, Wang Yao said coldly. Yes, Jia Zizai said. Let's go. He reached out and grabbed the man's arm. The man tried to break free, but he found that the other party's grip on his hand was like an iron hoop. He couldn't break free at all. Moreover, when he tried to break free, a sharp pain came from his wrist. It was so painful that he broke out in cold sweat. Then the 185-meter-tall man who weighed 180 kilograms was easily restrained by the other party. He was dragged out like a chick. Be gentle. His body is very weak. Don't accidentally kill him, Wang Yao said from behind. After hearing this voice, the man was so angry that he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. What did he mean by accidentally kill him? Outside the clinic, Jia Zizai stared coldly at the man. You listen to me. Don't come here in the future. Otherwise, you'll lose your life. When he said this, his body exuded a murderous aura, which made the man feel cold all over. Yes, yes, yes. He hurriedly nodded. This was a typical case of being strong in appearance, but weak in reality. He looked quite big, but he was definitely a coward when it came to a fight. Why? It was because his body had been hollowed out. When a person's body was not good, his spirit would not be good. He would lack confidence. No matter what he did, he would not be able to raise his spirit and confidence. Get out. The man hurriedly got into the car, started the car, and left. Sir, Jia Zizai returned to the clinic. Has he left? Yes, he has, Jia Zizai curiously said. Sir, he doesn't look like a person who is dying. It won't be a problem for a short period of time, Wang Yao said. According to his current lifestyle, he should be able to live for about a year. And then he will be terminally ill. Even the gods can't save him, Wang Yao said with a smile. What's the matter? Wang Yao asked. Nothing, Jia Zizai said. I just heard some noise when I was outside. Then I came to have a look. Just now he had indeed walked out of the clinic. Then he heard a noise coming from the clinic. It was the dangerous shout of the man he had just taken out. So he came in, following a wall and 2 doors, he still heard it. He found that recently his 5 senses had indeed strengthened a lot. This should be due to his daily cultivation. Just then, they heard the cries of a child coming from outside. Then, they saw a woman in her 50s carrying a child of 5 or 6 years old rushing in. Yao, take a look at Nini, the woman said. What's the matter, auntie? Wang Yao took a look and found that one of the little girl's arms was bare. It was red and had blisters on it. Was she scalded by boiling water? Wang Yao asked. Yes, it's all my fault. I didn't take good care of the child. When I turned my head, she touched the thermos and got scalded. Quickly, take a look at her, the woman said. The child's parents had gone out to work. The child was left at home for her grandmother to take care of. She didn't expect such a thing to happen. Her first thought was not to go to the hospital, but to come to Wang Yao's clinic. Let me take a look. Wang Yao took a closer look. Okay, it's not a big problem. Wang Yao took a little of the muscle revitalization powder that he had previously decocted. After diluting it with water, he sprayed it on the child's injured arm. He then fed her some painkillers. Then, he inserted needles into several acupuncture points on her arm and back. After about half an hour, the child's crying slowly stopped. Does it still hurt? Wang Yao asked softly. It doesn't hurt so much anymore, the child replied with sobs. Okay, Annie, come back in 2 days. I'll change the dressing for her, Wang Yao said after bandaging her with gauze. Be careful. Try not to touch it as much as possible. Oh, thank you, Yao, the woman said. Don't worry about it, Wang Yao said with a smile. Will this child leave a scar? The woman asked. No, it won't, Wang Yao said with a smile. The muscle revitalization powder could remove decay, heal wounds, relieve pain, and regenerate muscles. Back then, Su Xiaoshua's body had festered to a very high degree. With such a medicine, not only did she recover to her original state, but her skin also seemed to be whiter and more tender than before. Moreover, such a small injury to such a child was not serious. That was right. Such an injury was already in the category of minor in Wang Yao's eyes. That's good. That's good. After hearing that, the woman was slightly relieved. If there was a scar on the child's arm in the future, she might not be at ease for the rest of her life. How much is it? Forget it. You don't have to. Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. Oh, thank you so much, the woman said with a smile. After saying a few words to Wang Yao, she left the clinic with the child who had stopped crying. After leaving the clinic, the woman softly asked the child in her arms, Is Nini still in pain? It hurts a little, the child said. At this time, the child's ability to express herself might not be so strong. In fact, compared to the burning feeling when she was scalded at the beginning, the feeling now was much better. There was only a little pain. It was completely tolerable for a 5 or 6-year-old child. Sir, I'll go back first. Okay, Wang Yao said. Jia Zizai slowly returned home and saw an old man in his 60s coming down from the mountain happily. Chapter 922. Uncle, have you gone up the mountain? Jia Zizai greeted him with a smile. He knew this person. It was an old man named Wang Yilong. He had met him several times in the clinic and heard Wang Yao's story. He knew that Wang Yilong had a very serious disease, but he had almost recovered. I just came down, the old man said with a smile. He had just gone to Dongshan Mountain to take a look at the herbal field. It was winter now, and he was still a little worried about the herbs in the herbal field. In fact, making money was secondary. The key was that he felt that Wang Yao was kind enough to provide them with such a way to make money. They had to do it well so as not to let him down. Not to mention, the herbs in the herbal field had not been affected at all. After a trip to Dongshan Mountain, he felt a little more comfortable. It was better than staying at home all the time. You look good, Jia Zizai said. I'm very good, Wang Yilong said with a smile. He had even drunk a small glass of white wine during dinner for the past 2 nights. Originally, his son and daughter-in-law didn't agree. However, after meeting Wang Yao that day, Wang Yao told them to drink as much as they wanted and to control the amount. Since then, his son and daughter-in-law didn't say anything anymore. However, the wine they drank was good wine. In the first month of work, the boss of the pharmaceutical factory gave each of them a bonus. Among the bonuses, there was good wine brought back from the south. It was said that a box of wine cost a few hundred yuan. This kind of wine was considered good wine for people like them. Come to my house when you have time, Wang Yilong said with a smile. He knew that the people outside the village seemed to be Wang Yao's apprentice. They learned something from him. The couple lived in the village. As long as they got along well with Wang Yao, he felt that they were not outsiders. Okay, Jia Zizai agreed with a smile after hearing that. In the afternoon, there were no patients in the clinic. The weather was very warm, and the temperature was above zero. After waiting for a while, it was past 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Wang Yao simply closed the door of the clinic and went up the mountain. The back of Nanshan Hill was mostly covered with trees. Half of it was green because there were many pine trees. They've grown a lot denser. Wang Yao stood on the mountain and looked at the back of the mountain. The slope of the back of Nanshan Hill was very steep. It was not just a certain place, but almost the entire back of Nanshan Hill was like this. It went all the way to the back of the mountain, and then it was connected to the base of the hill, and then there was a road that went through the mountain. His figure flashed, and in the next moment, he arrived at the forest at the foot of the mountain. Sure enough, some of the aura from the spirit gathering array of South Mountain has drifted out. He had already felt this situation. The function of the spirit gathering array was to gather the aura from all directions on Nanshan Hill, but the aura could not be restrained. It would more or less spill out and then return to the world. Wang Yao had already noticed this problem, but he did not take any measures because the aura was originally somewhat of a robbery. Now that it had spread out, it was a kind of compensation. The back of the mountain and the mountains on both sides were affected by the overflowing aura. The trees were extremely lush. Rustle, rustle, huh? Wang Yao stopped, and then a big black snake appeared not far in front of him. It was a big snake that was more than 30 feet long and as thick as an adult's arm. It was winter. The black snake did not hibernate. It was still wandering in the forest. Xiaohei. After seeing Wang Yao, the black snake coiled up. Walk with me. Wang Yao walked in front, and the black snake followed him. It was extremely intelligent. When he arrived at the foot of the mountain, he found that the weeds in the mountain had reached his waist. Although they had withered in winter, they did not wither. When he reached the lowest place, Wang Yao stopped and turned his head to look at Nanshan Hill behind him. Looking from here, although the mountain was not high, it was very steep. Ordinary people would not be willing to take the risk to climb it. He continued to move forward and went to the opposite mountain. The height here was slightly lower than Nanshan Hill. Standing here, he could see the other mountain and the road passing through the mountain in the north. It was almost impossible to feel the aura of Nanshan Hill from here. It's not bad here. Wang Yao nodded. Xiaohei, don't you hibernate in winter? He leaned down and gently patted his tongue. The black snake's eyes were quite intelligent. Let's go back to Nanshan Hill. The man and the snake went down the mountain and went up Nanshan Hill. Well, that's it. Xiaohei, go to your work. The black snake seemed to understand Wang Yao's words. It turned and went back into the forest. Don't sleep in winter. Run around everywhere, Wang Yao said to himself with a smile. At the foot of the mountain, in the village, there was a family. Mom, why are you so careless? Nini is still so young. How can you let her touch the thermos? It's so dangerous. The daughter-in-law returned home and heard that her daughter had been scalded by hot water. She was very unhappy. Ah, I was careless, the old woman said. Let me see. I've seen Wang Yao and applied medicine. He said it's fine. Is it useful to see him? It's just a small clinic, the child's mother said. It's useful. People in the village all go to him for treatment. The medicine is effective. It's cheap. I think you're just looking for a bargain, her daughter-in-law said unhappily. What's wrong? What's the noise? At this time, her son came back from outside. Nini was scalded. Ah, scalded. Is it serious? The man hurriedly asked. She went to see the young doctor in your village. Is he reliable? Yes, absolutely reliable, the man said. I don't know about others, but I've seen Wang Yao's medical skills with my own eyes. He's absolutely amazing, the man said. I think we should go to the hospital. After all, it's a burn. Nini is still young. It's not good if it leaves a scar, the woman said. There's no need to go. The man waved his hand. Mom, don't take it seriously. It's the child's fault for not being obedient. The man comforted his mother. Does Nini's arm still hurt? He turned around and asked his daughter. It doesn't hurt anymore. You see, it doesn't hurt anymore. There's no need to see it. Are you his father? The woman was not happy to hear that. You see, well, let's go to the hospital. It'll be more reassuring, the old woman said. Okay, let's go and have a look, the man said after thinking for a while. Then, he drove his daughter and wife out of the village and rushed toward Lianshan County. Nini, tell me the truth. Does your arm hurt? The woman asked her daughter in the car. Mom, it really doesn't hurt. I'm not lying, the little girl said. She really didn't feel any pain now. Okay. The woman was a little relieved. When they arrived at the hospital, it was almost time to get off work. Doctor, my daughter was scalded by hot water. Can you take a look? They queued up and finally saw the doctor before he got off work. Isn't it already bandaged? The doctor looked at Nini's arm and asked. It was temporarily treated in a clinic in the village. I'm still a little worried, the woman said. Okay, I'll take a look. The doctor carefully took off the gauze as he spoke. There were still some blisters on the little girl's arm, but all the blisters had disappeared. It's not serious. The doctor took a closer look. Only the skin was a little red. The blisters have disappeared. When did you get scalded? This morning. This morning? Was it done through the clothes? I'm not sure, but my mother said there were a lot of blisters at that time, the woman said. She had heard it with her own ears. It's okay. The man wrapped the child with gauze again. Do you need some medicine? You can get some medicine. Which village are you from? The doctor asked. The man told him where his village was. The doctor was stunned. The village where Dr. Wong is from? Did you ask him to treat it? The man asked. Yes. Hey, why did you come to the county hospital? His medical skills are much better than ours. The man said. Chapter 923. What do you mean? The couple was stunned. They were very surprised. Do you know Wang Yao? Of course, I know him, the doctor said. Many doctors in our hospital have gone to see him. What? Wang Yao's words made the two men quite surprised. Doctors from the county hospital actually came to their village to seek treatment from Wang Yao. They were professional doctors. In their eyes, Wang Yao was an unorthodox doctor. Since when did doctors from the county hospital need to seek treatment from him? How is that possible? Why is it impossible? The doctor asked with a smile. No, you are from the same village, the doctor said. You should know how good Dr. Wang's medical skills are. Even an outsider like me knows that many people go to see him every day. Even people from other cities and provinces go to see him. Well, in fact, we don't live in the village often, the woman said with a smile. There are some things that we don't know. Originally, they had 2 houses in a mountain village, but they sold one and changed to a building in the county. They left the other house, where his parents lived. They worked in the county on weekdays, and their children stayed in the mountain village with their parents. Therefore, they were not very clear about some things that happened in the village. Ah, no wonder, the doctor said. I have been to your village twice. There are indeed a lot fewer people living in the village. Most of them are old people. In fact, at the very beginning, these doctors who were trained in formal hospitals were also prejudiced against those doctors who open outpatient clinics, especially those who claimed that they had some secret prescriptions. However, there were some diseases that they could not treat, and it was the same even when they went to the big hospitals nearby. Dr. Wang's reputation was very well known, so some of them went to try it, and the results were very good. One after another, more and more people went, and his reputation spread. Once this reputation spread, naturally more people went. Moreover, they heard more shocking news that the emergency room's director, Pan Jun, had become a disciple of Dr. Wang. Some doctors in the county hospital knew about this, but they didn't spread it around. They knew Pan Jun's ability. A person like him wouldn't make such a joke about being apprenticed to a young man who didn't know anything. Therefore, some of them went there, either with their families or by themselves. However, they didn't reveal their identities, so Wang Yao didn't know their true identities. What surprised them was that the young doctor hidden in the mountain village was really as powerful as the legend said. He could cure diseases. Gradually, when these doctors had diseases that they couldn't cure, the first place they thought of was the village. The main reason was that it was close to the village. There were even doctors in their hospital who proposed to invite him to the county hospital. After all, his medical skills were there for all to see. Someone even specifically asked Pan Jun about this matter, but after knowing his thoughts, they dismissed the idea. Is he really okay? Hey, why would I lie to you about this? The doctor asked with a smile. Thank you. Okay, let's go back. The couple left the hospital with the child. See, I told you Wang Yao is fine. His medical skills are excellent. Didn't you hear what the doctor said just now? The people in the county hospital all go to him for treatment, the man said. Okay, I know. As long as our child is fine, it's fine, the woman said. The family got in the car and drove home. Hey, I didn't expect Wang Yao to be so good. The doctors in the county hospital all go to him for treatment, the woman said in the car. Is it true? The woman asked. What do you think? Do those doctors need to lie to us about this matter? The man asked. That's true. Well, as long as Nini is fine, it's fine. Let's go home. Mama's called to ask again. The winter solstice had just passed, but the night was still long and the sky turned dark early. Before 5:30 in the afternoon, the sky was completely dark. In Lianshan County, in a family's home. Old man, where are you going? Out for a walk, the old man said happily. Okay, put on more clothes. It's quite cold outside, his wife said. Got it. The old man put on his clothes, went out, and went downstairs. Not long after he went out, his son came back. You're back. Yes. What did you buy this time? Some tonics for you and Dad to nourish your bodies. Hey, where is Dad? He just went out for a walk. Didn't you see him? No. Your father is in good health these 2 days. You don't have to worry, the woman said. By the way, the medicine he bought from the clinic last time is quite effective. Really? Why would I lie to you about this? I can see that your mental state is indeed quite good. Your complexion is rosy, you're more active, and you're eating more. The woman brought out a plate of washed fruits from the kitchen. Come on, have some fruit. Okay. The man picked up an apple. Is my dad still mad at me? Of course not. He's your father, not an enemy, the woman said with a smile. The relationship between the father and son was quite strange. They were a bit stubborn. Since the child was very young, the two of them were very competitive. Until now, the situation was still the same. However, the son was a lot more sensible. Most of the time, it was the old man who sulked. Well, that's good. Outside, the old man was chatting with a few old friends in the small park downstairs. He was in a good mood. Hey, Lowly, I see that you look good recently. Yes, I think it's quite good. Much better than last month. Hey, I took some medicine for Xiaopan. After taking it, the effect is quite good, the old man said with a smile. Really? What kind of medicine? It's to strengthen the body's corporeity. It can strengthen the body's resistance, the old man said happily. Really? Hey, the medicine you're talking about isn't produced by the new pharmaceutical factory in our county, is it? An old man asked. Yes, it's that company. You know it too? I just heard about it, but will the medicine work? I heard that the company has just started production. The medicine is also a new medicine. Is it really okay to take it? What problem can there be? I've taken several bottles. My body is getting better and better. Lowly patted his chest and said, Hey, what is this medicine for? Chapter 924. Well, it's used as a tonic, Lowly said. It has the same effect as ginseng, but I think it's better. Where can I buy it? Rinha Clinic. Xiaopan has it. The name of the medicine is Primordial Spirit Soup. Well, I've been feeling weak recently, another old man said. I'm out of breath when I move a little. I'll buy a bottle tomorrow to try the effect. Try it. I saw the effect after drinking one bottle, Lowly said. Why does it sound like you're advertising for someone? Another old man joked. Hey, what are you talking about? Don't you know my temper? Lowly was not happy to hear that. I'm a person who speaks my mind. That's right, another old man said. When has Lowly ever done anything to cheat people? Besides, his son and daughter are all promising. He doesn't need that money. Most of the old men had retired from public institutions. Now that the country's policies had improved, their pensions were high. They received about $5,000 to $6,000 a month. They didn't spend that much on food and clothing. People like them wanted to buy health supplements. At this age, they just wanted to be healthy. First, they wanted to suffer less. Second, they wanted to cause less trouble for their children. After exercising outside for a while, Lowly returned home and saw the gifts on the table. Who's here? Your son, his wife said as she came out of the house. He's been waiting for you for a long time. He just left. What's this? Tonic. He said it's for your health. I don't need it. Lowly waved his hand. You don't even know your surname when you have so much money. Tisk, your son is being kind, his wife said. Why don't you appreciate it? His wife said unhappily. I just asked you if you felt better after taking the medicine. You have to change your bad temper. Okay, I know. Lally waved his hand. It was quiet at night. On Nanshan Hill, in the herbal field, Wang Yao stood there looking at the sky. It's going to rain and snow tomorrow, he whispered. San Xian stood beside him and looked up at the sky. San Xian, can you see anything? Woof. The dog barked. Hee. Wang Yao laughed and patted its huge head. The snow began to fall the next morning before dawn. At first, it wasn't particularly heavy, but it started to fall in the morning. At dawn, the snowflakes became very heavy. It was a sign of heavy snow. Hey, it's snowing again. Jiazizai got up very early. Getting up early to cultivate was a habit they had developed during this period of time, regardless of the weather. Let's go, wife, he shouted into the house. He's here. The two of them went out in the wind and snow. Not long after, they met Zhong Luchuan. The three of them seemed to have made an appointment in advance. A timely snow indicates a good year, Zhong Luchuan said. The coming year should be a good one. Yes, Jiazizai nodded. The three of them stepped on the snow and faced the wind as they climbed up East Mountain. Good snow. Standing on the eastern mountain, the surroundings were filled with white light. Wrapped in silver, they looked like wax figures. In such a situation, we should drink a pot of good wine. Jiazizai clapped her hands. You always think about drinking. Hume rolled her eyes at him. Let's start, Zhong Luchuan said. The three of them continued to cultivate in the wind and snow. Snow fell on their heads and bodies. Gradually, more and more snow fell. The three of them sat on the ground, not caring or looking. It was quiet all around. They could faintly hear the rustling sound of snow falling. After a while, on Nanshan Hill, a figure came flying through the snow. He floated a few times as if he was flying and came to the side of the three of them. There were no footprints behind him. Climbing duckweeds and crossing water, he stepped on the snow without leaving a trace. After Wang Yao came, he landed quietly and didn't disturb the three of them. He stood quietly and looked at the three of them. Good snow. He looked around and sighed to himself. After a while, Jiazizai was the first to open his eyes. He gently breathed a sigh of relief. Just now, the world was silent. He had entered meditation very easily. He felt that his cultivation seemed to be smoother. The trace of qi in his body was flowing. There were faint signs of strengthening. Hume was the second to open her eyes, followed by Zhong Luchuan. Sir, it seems that you have gained a lot today, Wang Yao said with a smile. Yes, we have gained a lot today, Jiazizai said. A snowfall, a cultivation session. Opening and closing his eyes, he felt that his body was more comfortable and his spirit was better. This should be like the legendary epiphany. A day of cultivation could be compared to a dozen or even dozens of days of cultivation. However, this state of meditation could not be maintained for a long time. This kind of epiphany could only be encountered and not sought. Good snow, Jiazizai sighed. Let's go down the mountain, Wang Yao said. Sir, can you walk on the snow without leaving a trace? Jiazizai asked. Walk on the snow without leaving a trace. Wang Yao smiled. Yes, Luchuan, why don't you try it? Me? Zhong Luchuan was stunned. Wang Yao had taught them the breathing method, a set of footwork, and a set of boxing methods, all of which originated from the ancient boxing scripture. After practicing them, there was no end to them. Let's try it over there. After saying that, Zhong Liuchuan's body swayed. He was already 3 meters away. His footprints were clearly visible in the snow. As he continued to move forward, the footprints became lighter. It was as if his whole body had become much lighter. It's really possible. Jiazizai sighed. What surprised him was that Zhong Luchuan had such an ability. How long had he practiced with Sir? It had been less than a year. I didn't expect Senior to be so powerful. He sighed. Sir. Let's go. Wang Yao's body moved. His body floated. Like a leaf or a piece of snow, he was already 10 meters away. Sirs indeed, sir. Jiazizai sighed. The 4 of them went down a mountain. Wang Yao went to the clinic and the three of them returned home. It was still snowing in the sky. At that time, many places in the north were snowing. In the south, in southern Yunnan, the sun was shining. The weather was very good. Although the weather was good, Guo Zhenghe was in a very bad mood. So far, there had been no good progress in the case. Even with the help of the two people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, they had only determined one component of the poison. Although the poison was not everywhere in southern Yunnan, it was not a rare herb. As long as one was careful, it was not difficult to find it in the jungle. Sir, why don't I go to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine again to see if I can get anything? Su Xinyuan asked. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous, Guo Zheng has said. With the last lesson, they must be prepared. Yang Guanfeng and the others just went there not long ago. After all this trouble, the other party is most vigilant at this time. It's better not to go. Let's see if we can get something out of those people. All right. Bang. After Su Xinyuan left, Guo Zhenghe slammed the table. His face was full of anger. The people in Jing already knew what had happened there. The Guo family was a big business, and a tall tree attracted the wind. As an official, who could guarantee that he had no political enemies? After knowing about this matter, those people would inevitably fan the flames. He had already provoked criticism when he reached this position at such a young age. Therefore, after he took office, he did more practical things and ran his own business. Gradually, this kind of criticism decreased a lot. After all, if one wanted to find trouble, they had to have a suitable reason. Now that he had a reason, he had hoped to solve the case as soon as possible to reduce the impact of this matter on him. However, now that the previous case had not been solved and a new case had arisen, they would definitely make a fuss about it. Being too old and lacking in control wasn't a good comment. Moreover, once a bad impression was planted, it would be difficult to change it. However, on this road, there was no retreat. One step back, one step back. It was beyond one's control. Bang! He lit a cigarette. It was night in Tianjin. Mr. Su. Don't call me Mr. Su. You could just call me Mr. Su or my name, Su Xinyuan said. How can I do that? After all, you saved me. I have something to ask you. Please go ahead. Do you know Miao Qing Feng and Miao Changhong? Yes, Miao Qing Feng is the disciple of the current chief, Miaoxi River. In fact, he is also his nephew. Nephew? Yes, the two of them are actually very close. Miao Qing Feng is mainly in charge of the external affairs of the stronghold. In other words, if there is something outside that needs to be done, he will usually be the one to do it. As for Miao Changhong, he is one of the few poison experts in the stronghold. Poison expert. Su Xinyuan's hand that was holding the cup paused for a moment when he heard that. Yes, there are those in the stockade who study how to save people, and there are also those who study how to hurt people. Among them, Miao Shihe is the one who is the best at saving people and hurting people. Although I have a grudge against him, I have to admit that he is indeed very talented in this area. He is amazing. When it comes to medicine and poisons, he is like a peak. Other people in the village are still very far away from him. Miao Changhong once specifically asked him about poisons and was praised by him. Not many people in the village have been praised by him. Who is the best among you? To be honest, none of us are successful. The man shook his head gently. Learning medicine requires talent. It is not something that can be achieved by hard work alone. Su Xinyuan nodded. Ah, now that you mention it, I do remember someone who is very powerful. Who is it? His name is Miao Tianchuan. He is very talented and used to be the old chief. However, he escaped from the stronghold more than 10 years ago because of something. Miao Tianchuan. Su Xinyuan remembered the name in his heart. Chapter 925. Do you know where he is now? I don't know, Yang Guanghuan said. I'm not even sure if he's dead or alive. I heard that when he escaped from the stockade, he fought with the people in the village and was poisoned. Su Xinyuan was silent for a while. Are there still people in the stockade who are dissatisfied with the Miaoxi River? There are definitely people, Yang Guanghuan said. The Miaoxi River seems fair, but it's actually overbearing. There are definitely people who are dissatisfied, but I don't know who they are. After all, I've been away from the stockade for so many years. After talking for a while, they did not gain anything and returned empty-handed. Su Xin Yuan was very disappointed, but there was nothing he could do. He was still confused. He County, Miao Changhong went to the funeral home again and looked at the bodies of the people. He wanted to figure out how and when they were poisoned. He had succeeded. The time of poisoning was about 6 or 7 days before they died, he analyzed. The way they were poisoned should be through food. 6 or 7 days before they died. Yang Guanfeng's eyes lit up slightly. This was a very important piece of news. Yes, we can check where they lived, Lu Xiufeng said. The three of them lived in the same village and worked at the same place. It was not particularly difficult to investigate. In the end, they did find something of very important discovery. A stranger with a hood, appeared at the place where they lived and where they worked at different times. However, no matter which camera they used, they could not see the person's face clearly. This person is a major suspect, Yang Guanfeng and Lu Xiufeng said almost at the same time. In a place where it was not cold, it was abnormal to deliberately cover one's face. Many criminal suspects had the habit of doing so. Let's go and see if there are any shops nearby where we can see his face clearly. Okay. They immediately set off and went to the places where the three people were before the incident. They found that the person's face appeared on the camera in a shop, but it was still not clear. They could only see half of his face, which was still a little blurry. This person is a veteran, Yang Guanfeng said. Yes, it has a very strong anti-detection ability. Lu Xiufeng lit a cigarette. There are usually several possibilities for such a person. One is that he is a habitual criminal who has a very good understanding of the police's criminal investigation methods and has a strong anti-reconnaissance ability. The other possibility is that he has received special training and is familiar with the anti-reconnaissance methods. Of course, we can't rule out that some people are born with this ability, but it is a minority after all. Although they couldn't see the person's face clearly, they had professionals who could speculate what the person looked like through the blurry half of the person's face that they could observe, and it was highly credible. At this point, there was finally some progress in the case. These two people are really something, Lu Xiufeng said, but I always feel that they are hiding something from us. Yang Guanfeng lit a cigarette. That's for sure. They came here with impure intentions, telling us this is probably the result of discussion and reporting. In the guest house in He County. Do we still need to stay here? Miao Changlong asked. We have basically done everything we can. Staying here won't be of much use. They had said what they could say. Naturally, they couldn't tell outsiders what they couldn't say. They had done everything they could. Wait a little longer, Miao Qingfeng said. He had told the clan leader everything that had happened there. He was waiting for news from the clan leader to determine what to do next. All right. At this time, Yang Guanfeng and the others received another message. Come and have a look. There is news from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine again. What is it? A message, a picture, and a dead person. Someone died again. The person in the picture died in a horrible way. His face was blue, and there were some disgusting sores on it. Well, is it really a dead person? Lu Xiufeng looked at it carefully. Please, don't joke at this time, Yang Guanfeng said. Judging from this, it is obvious that he has been dead for more than a day. Not necessarily, Yang Guanfeng said. Don't forget that they're good at using poison. There should be a big difference between a body that died by poisoning and one that died by other means. Ah, one wave after another, Lu Xiufeng said. Why are there so many things happening? No wonder the fortune teller said that this year would not be a good one. Hey, you still believe in that? Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. We can't do anything about this case, Lu Xiufeng said. I think even if we knew there was a dead person, we wouldn't be able to find him. All we can do is pay attention. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine definitely hid many secrets, yet it was so xenophobic. Yang Guanfeng had been there twice and had been poisoned twice. The case had not been solved, and he had almost lost his life. Who knew what kind of accident would happen if he went there again? I have a hunch that we will have to go to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine sooner or later, Lu Xiufeng said. Why? Do you still miss the wine and food there? To be honest, I really miss it, Lu Xiufeng said. I really don't want to go there anymore. You've been there twice and been poisoned twice. I went there once and didn't have any accidents. I was really glad after that. I don't know what will happen if I go there again. In a valley of thousands of medicine, hundreds of miles away, Master. How is it? It's still not working. Miyashi River sat there after hearing that. Well, where is he? He's dead. I see, Miyashi River said. Stop for a while and take care of things. Clean up the place thoroughly. Don't leave anything behind. Yes, the middle-aged man responded and left. Miyashi River was the only one left in the room. He sat there quietly. It's still not working. What is missing? In another city in southern Yunnan, two people were sitting opposite each other in a restaurant. Looking at their faces, they were very tired. It was as if they had just experienced heavy physical labor. Do you believe me now? The voice of the man in the baseball cap was a little hoarse. His face was a somewhat strange blue. I believe you. I didn't expect that kind of thing to really exist. The man sitting opposite him complained. His face was slightly pale. Did they find us? They should have, but it doesn't matter. We're definitely not the only ones keeping an eye on that place. The last time I was there, I heard gunshots. Blood Orchid. The tall and strong man sighed in a low voice. Can this thing really make people live forever? Haven't you read your grandfather's 2 notes? The baseball man took a sip of tea. I read them, but I haven't finished them yet. It's a pity that the old patriarch's real wealth is all in that notebook, but your family doesn't know how to cherish it. Now it is in the hands of Miyashi River. I have also read the 2 notebooks, but I haven't finished them either. The blood orchid is one of the 6 herbal medicines in southern Yunnan. It can make people live longer and relieve various diseases. He has seen and used it before. If it weren't for Miyashi River, he might still be alive now. His death has nothing to do with Miyashi River, the tall and strong man said. Why would I lie to you about this? The old patriarch must have been killed by Miyashi River. The tall and strong man was silent after hearing that. After a while, he asked, What should we do next? Let's go to the stockade and have a look, the tall and strong man said. Miyashi River should use the blood orchid for experiments. I have been there several times before and found some clues. However, they noticed it and couldn't investigate further. Okay, it was late at night. The jungle in southern Yunnan was dense. Coo, coo, coo. No one knew what animal was calling. Rustle, rustle, rustle. 2 figures shuttled through the jungle. Do you smell anything? The smell of a corpse. Yes, it should be nearby. Rustle, rustle. Something was swimming in the grass. This is a red-headed centipede, which is raised in the stockade. It's a housekeeper. They came to the place where Yang Guanfeng and Lu Xiufeng had been. This is it. After passing through the jungle, the mountain appeared in front of them. There is a cave and a figure, the tall and strong man said. Wait here. I'll go and have a look. Okay. The slightly shorter man quietly approached the mountain with his face covered. There was a cave in the mountain. There were people in the cave. We are about to succeed, someone said. Why don't we persist? The situation outside is too tense, the tall and strong man said. The 2 criminal investigation experts who came last time have found this place. We have put down one of them, which is already very risky. If they come again next time, they will definitely come back here. What should we do then? Put down another one? Chapter 926. What are you afraid of? They're just outsiders. We could just kill them. Can you use your king brain before you speak? Someone scolded. What do you think they are? Chickens, ducks, and dogs? We can kill them as we wish. They are criminal investigation experts from the province. They are government officials. If they die inexplicably in our place, what will happen? Will people come directly from Jing to investigate us? Do you remember what the patriarch said? Do you remember what our main goal is now? We have to keep a low profile. We have to keep a low profile and not let the outside world notice us as much as possible. Only in this way can we complete the task. Okay, I got it. The patriarch said to get rid of this place as soon as possible. No information can be left behind in case someone comes to investigate. Again, we can't rule out this possibility. All right, cut the crap and get to work. Understood. While the people inside were busy, a person from the outside quietly entered the cave. Well done, Miaoshi River. You really dared to do anything. The person who came inside after seeing the situation inside. Click, click. He secretly took a lot of photos. Who is it? Suddenly, a shout was heard. We have been discovered. Let's go. Without hesitation, he turned around and left. Someone is here. Chase. 3 figures rushed out of the cave, one after another. One was in front, and the other 2 were behind. Oh no, we have been discovered. The person who had been hiding outside saw the situation and quickly left in another direction. They had considered this situation before they came. To be precise, another person was an expert in this field. He thought about all the problems very thoroughly. They even thought about what to do if they were not a match. What if Miaoshi River came in person? In the forest, there were weeds, trees, and rocks. They had to be extra careful when walking in the forest during the day, let alone now at night. The clouds in the sky covered half the moon. The dense forest blocked the cold moonlight. At this time, moving in the forest, one could fall if one was not careful. However, the 2 people in front were moving very fast. Their movements were as fast as leopards. It was as if the forest was their back garden. The person chasing behind was not slow, but compared to him, it was much slower. The distance between them was getting farther and farther. It's someone familiar with this place. Whoosh, 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 thud, thud, thud. Something pierced into the nearby trees. Puff, puff, puff. 2 streaks of flames. Thump, thump. The 2 pursuers directly staggered and fell to the ground almost at the same time. They struggled a few times and then didn't get up again. You dare to chase after me with this level of skill? You killed someone. A tall and strong man quickly appeared beside him. You're crazy. What do you mean by killing people? I was just defending myself. If I wasn't them, they would have killed me. You should know better than me how powerful their weapons are, right? All right, stop arguing here. Let's hurry up and leave. When the Miaoshi River arrives, we won't be able to leave even if we want to. The 2 of them retreated decisively. Not long after, another 3 people arrived and saw the 2 people on the ground. How is it? They are all dead. Dead. Yes, it was a bullet. It hit the fatal part of the head. Bullets? Guns? Yes, they even had silencers. After all, we didn't hear anything. Immediately organize people to search around and strengthen the defense. Also, immediately deal with the matter in the cave. Don't leave any traces. I'll go back and report this to the chief immediately. Okay. A figure hurriedly left and soon appeared in the stockade at the foot of the mountain. In the dark night, the lights in the largest wooden house in the stockade were turned on. There are intruders? Yes, our people want to chase after them and killed 2 people. They were shot in the head. It was a direct hit. A master? In the darkness, by the time our men arrived, the other party had already left. Moreover, we did not find any traces of them in the surroundings, only footprints. They are indeed experts, and they should have come prepared. They directly rushed to the cave. They went in. They went in. The Miaoshi River sat there with his eyes closed. No one knew what he was thinking. Speed up the processing. Completely clean up the place. It has to be done by tonight. Yes. I'll go back and take a look at it after daybreak. Okay. The next morning, just as dawn broke, several people were standing in the forest next to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Chief, there's still a smell. Continue to treat it with medicine. Yes. Here, blood has stained the soil. Get rid of it. The Miaoshi River pointed out some details as he walked. Yes. After a while, he entered the cave. Smell. It still smell, the chief said. If I can get it out of an animal like a police dog, I'll definitely be able to get out of him. Add more medicine. Yes. Where are they buried? Buried God Lake. Okay. After coming out of the cave, he went to the place where the 2 people had the accident the night before. The 2 people were still there. They hadn't moved for the whole night. The blood under their bodies had seeped into the ground and dried up. Are there any other bullet marks around? No, only 2 bullet shells. It's a master. The Miaoshi River carefully checked the footprints at the scene. This person ran very fast in the jungle and was very familiar with the place. Is he someone from Stockade? The person next to him asked. I can't rule out that possibility. The Miaoshi River looked around again. That's right. There are two people. Two people. Yes. This smell. He suddenly stopped in his tracks and sniffed carefully. It's him. Who? Miao Qing Shan. Qing Shan? He's back again. The person next to him was surprised. Isn't he alone? He doesn't know how to use a gun, the chief said. Even if he learned during the time he left the stockade, his marksmanship wouldn't be so accurate. It's the other person who killed him, the Miaoshi River said. He could determine the identity of a person just from the smell in the air. That was almost comparable to a police dog. The chief is amazing. Of course, what I'm most worried about now is how much they know. The Miaoshi River had been following the traces left by them deep into the jungle. There's no need to chase. He stopped. Huh? They're already far away. The Miaoshi River looked into the depths of the jungle. He had been delayed for a night. In fact, he should have come last night. Chapter 9:27. Patriarch. Could it be related to the two policemen who came last time? It shouldn't be directly related to them, Miaoshi River said. It's obviously not their way of doing things in style. Isn't Qing Shan still wanted? At this time, he wouldn't be involved with the police. Well, deal with these two bodies and have a good talk with their families. Yes. Just seal the cave. Yes. The people around him dispersed and went about their own business. Only he and the middle-aged man who had been following him were left. Changshan, who do you think it is? It's hard to say, the man named Miao Changshan said after thinking for a while. Are there still people in the stockade who are restless? Yes, but they are all small tricks, Miao Changshan said. They don't have the guts to kill people. You can't judge a book by its cover, Miaoshi River said. At this critical moment, you can't mess up. Yes. Hundreds of miles away from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, two men were on a hill. You shouldn't have killed people, the tall man said. He was Miao Qing Shan, who had escaped from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Qing Shan, you are still too kind, the tall man said. If we had been caught last night, what kind of consequences do you think would have been waiting for us? Is it insect torture or poison torture? Asked the man wearing a baseball cap next to him. The chief wouldn't have been so cruel, Miao Qingshan said, but his words were obviously not very confident. Listen, you don't even have the confidence to speak, Miao Qingshan said. You must know what kind of person he is. Sometimes you just don't want to face and admit it. Miao Qingshan was silent after hearing that. After all, he was from the stockade and had lived there for nearly 30 years. The two people who had been killed last night might have been his childhood playmates. If it had been him, he wouldn't have been able to kill them unless it was a matter of life and death. In fact, Miao Tianchuan was wrong. He didn't think Miaoshi River was a bad person in his heart. He didn't think so in the past. Now he was still in the stage of doubt. He was not completely sure. In fact, when he was in the stockade, Miaoshi River had been very good to him. He was an honest elder who had taught him a lot of knowledge. He was still unwilling to believe that Miao Tianchuan was the kind of person in front of him. They are conducting experiments, the man who was half a head shorter than him said. What experiments? It should be live experiments, Miao Qingshan said. I vaguely saw corpses. It is most likely related to the blood orchid. He lit a cigarette. This was the first time he had smoked in a few days. He used to like smoking very much, but later, an unforgettable experience had made him quit. Now, he suddenly wanted to smoke again, so he lit one. Can't the blood orchid be taken directly? It should be possible. He blew out a mouthful of smoke. The smell was somewhat familiar, but also strange. He had taken the blood orchid directly. At that time, he had taken a lot of blood orchid when he was in a state of near death. He had then turned the situation around. Not only did the toxins in his body not explode, but his body had also undergone some changes. He had become stronger, could see farther, and could hear more clearly. In short, he had become stronger. Why do they still conduct experiments? Maybe it is to make medicine, Miao Qingshan said. There are many secrets in the stockade, especially Miaoshi River. He has even more secrets. What should we do next? Wait a little longer, Miao Qingshan said. Now, both of their identities were somewhat special. They were both Wana people. Although they were in a relatively remote place where news was relatively inaccessible and people did not pay much attention to those things, it was different now. Things had happened in He County, which was hundreds of miles away. The entire province was in a state of panic. No one knew who did it. No one wanted such things to happen where they were. Therefore, the police patrolling everywhere was obviously several times stronger than usual. The two of them never stayed in the same place for more than 3 days to avoid being discovered. In a guest house in He County, the Miao Ching Feng and Miao Changhong were sitting opposite each other. Someone entered the stockade yesterday, the Miao Ching Feng said. Intruders. Yes, and they killed 2 people in the stockade, Miao Ching Shan said. Killed our people? Miao Changhong frowned. His face became very ugly. It had been a long time since people in the village had died because of intruders. They were masters. They killed with 1 shot, Miao Ching Shan said. They were very familiar with the situation of the forest near the stockade. One of them was Miao Ching Shan. Miao Ching Shan? He dared to come back? Miao Changhong was stunned. He was obviously very surprised. It can't be wrong. The chief confirmed it himself, the Miao Ching Feng said. There's another person, but we are not sure who it is. That must be it, Miao Ching Shan said. Do we still need to stay here? Continue to stay here. Aren't they drawing a portrait of the suspect? The results should be out soon. Let's wait here and see who it is. I have a hunch that I might know this person, the Miao Ching Feng said. In He County, Yang Guanfeng looked at a picture in his hand. It was a portrait of a person. It was a portrait of a person that he deduced from half of the face. Look, have you seen him before? After looking at it carefully, he handed the portrait to Lu Guanfeng. Let me think about it. Lu Xiaofeng stared at the photo, as if he was in a trance. In fact, photos after photos quickly appeared in his mind. They were like a series of film rolls. There were all kinds of people, but they all had one thing in common, and that was that they were all criminals. I got it, he suddenly said. Who? Check the wanted criminals in Qi province this year. Okay. The relevant staff members moved quickly. Soon, they found a person. Zhang Wei. Yes, that's him. The photo was printed and compared with the portrait. It doesn't look like him. Yang Guanfeng looked carefully. The similarity between the 2 people was less than 50%. It didn't sound high, but in fact, the similarity was not low. After all, it was only a portrait that was deduced from half of the face that was not particularly clear. Look here, the eyes, the bridge of the nose, and the forehead. Lu Xiaofeng pointed to 3 parts. The similarity between the 3 parts was very high. But why did a northerner come to southern Yunnan? Yang Guanfeng asked. What's the purpose of poisoning people? He had no impression of this person because it was not under his jurisdiction or a nearby province. So he paid less attention to it. Ah, I got it, Lu Xiaofeng said. Ask those 2 to come over and identify him. See if he's from their stockade. Is he from their stockade? No. Didn't someone in their stockade betray them because they were dissatisfied with the Miaoxi River? Okay, ask them to come and have a look. After receiving the call, Miao Ching Feng and Miao Changhong immediately rushed to the police station. After seeing the portrait of the person, they were stunned. After seeing the other person's expression, Lu Xiaofeng asked, Why? Do you know this person? I'm not sure. What about you, Changhong? Sorry, I haven't seen him before. Miao Changhong shook his head. What do you mean by not sure? Yang Guanfeng asked. I seem to have some impression of this person, but I'm not sure. That's what I mean. How about this? I'll take a photo and send it back to the stockade for the chief to have a look again. Is that okay? Yes, please do it as soon as possible. Okay. After taking the photo, Miao Ching Feng sent it back to the stockade. He then left the police station with Miao Changhong. They went to a nearby restaurant and chose a private room. It was time to eat, so they chatted while eating. Is that person Miao Tianchuan? Miao Changhong whispered. I think it's 50% similar, Miao Ching Feng said. But isn't he dead? He must be dead, Miao Ching Feng said. Not to mention the terrible poison in his body. I saw him fall off a cliff dozens of feet high into the Shilio River with my own eyes. The current is so fast. He can't have survived if he fell. So it's not him. The possibility is very low. But if it's him, then it makes sense that Qing Shan is with him, Miao Changhong said. Chapter 928. But I really can't think of any possibility that he is still alive, Miao Qingfeng said. Miao Qingfeng asked, as he had just said, whether it was the terrible poison or falling from such a high place. There was only one way to die. There was no other possibility. But in fact, he was not meant to die. The patriarch must be very angry about this matter. I guess he's already thinking of a way, the Miao Qingfeng said. Let's just wait here for the news. In the mountain village, thousands of miles away, the weather became a lot colder after the heavy snow. It was the coldest time of the year after the winter solstice. The weather was cold, and people were not willing to go out. Not many people came to the clinic. For example, today, only one person came in the morning. She was from the village. She had a cold. Wang Yao gave her some medicine to dispel the cold. After that, no one came. Well, we can close the clinic early today. He wanted to close the clinic early, but two more people came in the afternoon near the evening. One of them was an old woman carrying a child. Andy, it is so cold today. What can I do for you? It was the child. She was the little girl who had come to the village recently. She was scalded by boiling water. Wang Yao gave her medicine, which was diluted muscle revitalization powder. I am worried. Can you take a look at Nini again? The woman said. She was a little out of breath when she spoke. The old woman was tired after carrying the child for such a long distance. Okay, I will take a look at her again, Wang Yao said. After the gauze on the girl's arm was removed, Wang Yao saw that her arm had almost recovered. There were no blisters or swelling. Does it still hurt? Wang Yao pressed a little. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all, Nini said. Okay, it is okay, Wang Yao said. Is it really okay? The old woman asked again. Hi, Andy, I didn't expect you to see that, Wang Yao said with a smile. I'm just worried. In fact, when she took off the gauze at home, she knew that her granddaughter's arm should be fine, but she was still a little worried, so she carried her granddaughter to the clinic again. On such a cold day, the old woman and the child were frozen. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Andy, you should pay more attention to your body. Do you feel that your chest is stuffy these 2 days? Wang Yao said. Sigh, it's a little bit. I'm getting old, so I have some problems. You don't usually drink much water, do you? Wang Yao said. Yes, I do, but I don't drink much. Drink more water if you have nothing to do at home. It's good for your health, Wang Yao said. The old woman's heartbeat was irregular, and her breathing was irregular. Her face was slightly pale. This old woman's heart was not good. To be precise, her meridians were blocked, and her qi and blood were not flowing smoothly. Why don't you prescribe some medicine? The old man asked. Okay, Wang Yao said with a smile. Please take a seat and wait for a moment. Wang Yao went to the medicine cabinet to prescribe medicine for the old woman. Ephedra, Angelica, Panax Nodo Ginseng, White Peony. The prescriptions were basically ready-made. The medicine Wang Yao gave her was mainly to dredge the blood vessels. 2 of the medicines played a role in consolidating her corporeity. After all, the old woman was old. At her age, she needed appropriate supplements. Here are 6 doses of medicine. Take 1 dose a day for 6 days and come again, Wang Yao said. Well, Yao, I forgot to bring money when I came here, the old woman said as she touched her pocket. No hurry. Another day is fine. Oh, okay. Thank you. The old woman took the medicine and left the clinic with her granddaughter on her back. The wind outside was still a little strong and cold. Auntie slowed down. Try not to come out in this kind of weather in the future, Wang Yao said. Every winter, many old people were prone to fall ill, mainly because of cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases. The weather was too cold. When people went from a relatively warm place to a cold environment, the temperature change was too big. The human body had to adjust. This adjustment may cause some people who are not very healthy to have diseases. This was the reason why some old people who fell ill were prone to die in winter. Winter storage. It was appropriate to harvest in winter. Whoosh. The wind outside seemed to be getting stronger. Oh, the wind is quite strong. Jia Zizai and Humei went out of the courtyard in the evening and went to Dongshan Mountain. The wind on the mountain was indeed stronger than the wind at the foot of the mountain, but it was not as cold. This was due to the close proximity to Nanshan Hill. I heard from Senior that there's a battle array on Nanshan Hill, Jiazazai said. Outside Nanshan Hill, in addition to the forest battle array at the foot of the mountain, there are 2 more battle arrays on the mountain to prevent outsiders from entering. Why do you suddenly think of this? Hume asked. You said that Sir knows so many things at such a young age. Who did he learn from? Who is our grandmaster? Jiazazai asked. Didn't Sir say that we are pharmacists? Hume said. Jiazazai had asked this question before. At that time, Wang Yao's answer was that they were pharmacists. Pharmacists practice medicine to help the world. They cure diseases and save people. I understand this. But you said that pharmacists also know kung fu and battle arrays. This doesn't make sense, does it? Jiazazai said. Do you know why your progress is not as fast as Senior's and not as fast as mine? Hume asked. Well, why? You think too much, Hume said. In addition to reading scriptures every day, Senior meditates on the mountain to cultivate, Hume said. As for me, I read, cultivate, and cook every day. Our lives are more pure. We don't think too much. You always think about this and that. Thinking too much is too messy, so it delays your cultivation. I'm just curious. Well, let's start. The 2 of them sat on the rocks on 2 sides of the mountain. They closed their eyes and began to guide Qi to cultivate. The cold wind whistled past them. Hiss! Phew! In addition to the sound of the wind, there was only the sound of their light breathing between heaven and earth. After a while, another person appeared. Has it already started? After seeing the 2 of them sitting in the cold wind, he gently went to another place and sat down. Their cultivation was unhindered by wind or rain. Thousands of miles away in the valley of thousands of medicine, Changshun, keep an eye on the things in the valley, Miaoshi River said. If there is anything outside, contact Qingfeng. I will leave for 3 days. There could be no trouble during these 3 days. Got it, Master. Well, I'm leaving. Miaoshi River left the stockade and entered the jungle on foot. A day later, in a village in the forest nearly 1,000 miles away. Wusan, long time no see. Miaoshi River? We're a rare guest. I didn't expect you to come out. Miaoshi River, the chief of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, came to the residence of Wusan, the king pharmacist of Miaojiang. The 2 of them knew each other. Have some tea. Wusan personally poured him a cup of tea. Thank you. You are still so busy, Miaoshi River said. I see many people waiting outside. I'm used to it, Wusan said. You haven't changed at all after more than 20 years, Wusan said. You are indeed a genius of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Huh, you haven't changed much, Miaoshi River said. Back then, the old chief asked you to stay, but you didn't want to. You insisted on coming out to show your ambition. What happened in the end? The outside world is filthy. With your temperament, can you hide here and be cynical? Miaoshi River took a sip of tea. Well, no need to be polite, Wusan said. What can I do for you? He knew and understood the man in front of him. He was a master of medicine, poison, and venomous insects. He was amazing. His master had called him the first person in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine in 150 years. That was a high evaluation. Take a look at this. Miaoshi River took out a small bag and threw it to Wusan. Wusan took it, tested it, and gently opened it. Seeing his action, Miaoshi River laughed and said, Haha, what are you afraid of? Do you want me to poison you or venomous insects? Oh, I was teased by you a lot in the valley, Wusan said. I'm scared. After seeing what was inside, he was stunned. What is this? The blood orchid. Inside a box, there were a few blood-red orchids sealed nice. Yes, the blood orchid, Miaoshi River said. I didn't expect it to exist. Is what Master wrote in his notes true? At least the blood orchid is real, Miaoshi River said. It dispels diseases and prolongs life. It is one of the 6 sacred herbs in Miaojiang. Wusan looked at the flowers and was very emotional. You didn't bring such a good thing to share with me, did you? Of course not. I have something to ask of you. You have something to ask of me? Wusan was surprised. Are you kidding? I have been in the valley for more than 20 years and have never come out, Miaoshi River said. Do you think I came out and traveled thousands of miles to come here to chat with you and joke with you? Tell me, what is it? Look at me. Look, Wu San was stunned after hearing that. He immediately understood and then carefully looked at it for him. Can I bleed? Yes. Miaoshi had cut his wrist and let out a small bowl of blood. The color of his blood was not bright red. Instead, it was a somewhat dark red. There was also a very unique smell to it. It was not the smell of blood, but something else that was hard to put into words. After a while, the wound on his wrist quickly healed without any trace. The medicine goes into the skin. The medicine goes into the bones, Wu San whispered softly. He dipped his finger in the blood and put it into his mouth. He immediately spat it out and rinsed his mouth with tea several times. What a good Miaoshi river. His eyes were shining. I didn't expect you to reach this step. Chapter 929. You flatter me, Miaoshi River said. Since you have reached this point, why do you still want the blood orchid? Wu San asked in confusion. Could it be that you want to regain your youth and live forever? Wu San suddenly asked. I feel that I have reached the top now, Miaoshi River said. I can't move anymore. I can't break through. This state has lasted for 6 years. I have tried many times in the past 6 years, but I have not succeeded. I'm still standing in the same place. Now that the blood orchid has appeared, this is an opportunity. I want to see if I can go further. Go further? What do you mean by going further? Wu San asked. Qi and blood are always smooth, and you're never old or withered. Ha ha! Wu San laughed 3 times after hearing that. Isn't that immortality? Miaoshi River, you really dare to think about it. If I don't even dare to think about it, what is the point of living? Miaoshi River took a sip of tea. Refining the body with medicine has always been the secret of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Wu San said. It refines the skin on the outside and the internal organs on the inside. I haven't seen you for more than 20 years, and your appearance hasn't changed much. Are you also thinking about it? I was lucky to listen to my master's advice in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Wu San said. After coming back, I naturally studied it. I have tried it over the years, and it is indeed effective, but it is far from your level. The medicine has entered the spirit and marrow. I am afraid that the first one in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine did not reach this level. The methods of the ancestors are not something that I can imagine. Let me think about it, Wu San said. You have refined your body with medicine, and the medicine has entered the spirit and marrow. It is half medicine and half poison, half good and half evil. This blood orchid is a sacred medicine. It is extremely pure. Does it conflict with the blood in your body? Amazing, Miaoshi River exclaimed. He hit the nail on the head. But when I was reminded by my master, he once said that the medicine used to refine the body was relatively neutral and peaceful. He strived to minimize the adverse stimulation to the human body. It is reasonable to say that it should not conflict with the blood orchid too much. Your blood contains poison. Is it a deviation? I have walked that path, but I have reached the end, Wu San said. If I want to go forward, I have to find another way. Poison is also medicine, and so is goo. You are now a poison man. Does this blood orchid flower have an antidote effect? Yes, I've tried it before. It can cure hundreds of poisons, Miaoshi River said. It is difficult to integrate the efficacy of the blood orchid with the efficacy of the blood in your body, Wu San said. Was there any herb that could neutralize all kinds of medicinal effects? Yes, there was such as licorice. However, this so-called neutralization was only a slight balance of yin and yang. It wouldn't cause the medicinal effects of certain herbs to be too strong. However, it was impossible to use it to neutralize poison like the heartbreak grass. That's why I'm here, Miaoshi River said. You tried. I tried, but it didn't work. Let me think about it, Wu San said. He stared at the small bowl of blood. After a while, he raised his head and looked at the Miaoshi River. Actually, this is a multiple-choice question. It depends on which one you want to choose. What do you mean? First, abolish the efficacy of the blood in your body, and then take the blood orchid flower, Wu San said. Or give up the blood orchid flower. Abolish the efficacy of the medicine in my body. It has already penetrated into the bone marrow. How can I abolish it? Bloodletting, blood production, and supplemented with antidotes. After listening, Miaoshi River was silent for a while. If Wu San could think of this method, he could naturally think of it. However, the risk was too great. It was not as simple as it seemed. If he didn't pay attention, he could be seriously injured or die. This was the case even with his current body. Find another way? Yes, find another way, Wu San said. Finding another way was easy to say but difficult to do. Miaoshi River knew this best in his heart. He had paid a lot of effort and endured a lot of pain. He had walked on the edge of life and death several times to achieve today's harvest. At this time, he really couldn't make the decision to find another way and give up everything he had now. Once the efficacy of the medicine is abolished, I don't know whether I will live or die, Miaoshi River said. Haha. In fact, you don't have to worry, Wu San said. After refining the spirit and marrow with your current body, it won't be too much of a problem to live for another 100 years. What can't you do in such a long time? After listening, Miaoshi River looked at the tea in the cup and poured a cup for Wu San. I was too impatient. The temptation of the blood orchid flower is too great, Wu San said. Well, thank you. You are welcome. One couldn't see Mount Tai. Okay, let's go. Why are you in such a hurry? Why don't you leave after dinner? No, I have something to do in the stockade. Miaoshi River got up and left. Wu San walked him to the side of the road in the stockade. If one day you have enough work, go back to the stockade. I welcome you. I'm fine here, Wu San said. Miaoshi River nodded and didn't speak. He walked and went away in a short time. After watching him disappear at the end of the road, Wu San turned and returned to his bamboo building. Who is that person? The king pharmacist came out to see him off in person. Who knows? Maybe he is a relative? Look at that person. He looks like a country bumpkin. He doesn't look like someone from the city. You can't judge a book by its cover, Wu San said. Look at what the king pharmacist usually wears. Isn't he also wearing country clothes? Yes. Hey, is the king pharmacist seeing patients today? Should he? He is not seeing patients today. Not long after Wu San entered the bamboo building, his apprentice came out. He told the people who had been waiting outside for a long time very bad news. Oh, why not? I can tell at a glance that this is your first time here, Wu San said. The king pharmacist is so capricious. If he doesn't want to see patients, he won't. No, so I have waited in vain these days. If you are in a hurry, you can go somewhere else. If you're not in a hurry, you can continue to wait here. In the bamboo building, on the wooden table, there was a box and a teacup. In the box was a frozen blood orchid. In the teacup was dark red blood. Wu San came to the table and stared at the two things on the table for a while. He then reached out and dipped it in the blood in the teacup and sent it into the air. After a moment, he spat it out and rinsed his mouth repeatedly with tea. What a poisonous blood, Miaoshi River. He sighed. His eyes fell on the blood orchid in the box. He picked one up and put it next to his nose to smell it carefully. It had a very unique fragrance, which made people feel very comfortable. The smell can calm the nerves. He put the blood orchid into his mouth and chewed carefully. He felt that his mouth was full of a unique fragrance, which refreshed the heart and mind. What a blood orchid! He chewed carefully and tasted the branches and leaves among the petals. Finally, he swallowed the flower. He sat there quietly and felt the medicinal power of the flower after it entered his stomach. The medicinal power is pure and warm the internal organs. After a long time, he let out a long sigh of relief. What a pity. He opened his eyes and looked outside. If Miaoshi River had found this blood orchid earlier, maybe he would have gone further. Master, what's the matter? Someone is making noise outside. Let them be. Tell them that I won't see any patients for a week. Yes, master. What? It's become a week again? What the hell? The people outside were in an uproar after hearing the news. Because I'm happy. Wu San laughed in the room. He seemed to be really happy. The day passed quickly, but it was neither slow nor slow. In the blink of an eye, it was already afternoon. It's after the winter solstice. Why is the weather still like this? It's only been a few days. In an outpatient clinic in Lianshan County, Xiaomei. Uncle, what can I do for you? The primordial spirit soup I bought 2 days ago is almost finished. Give me 2 more bottles, the old man, who looked to be in his 60s, said. Okay, wait a moment, uncle. How is the effect of drinking it? It's very good. I feel more comfortable. The effect of the medicine produced in our county is really good. Yes, Pam said. The old man had just left when another person came in. He had come to inquire about the medicine. Do you have more? Yes. Are you not feeling well? Pam asked. Chapter 9:30. I just don't have any strength and my head hurts, the old man said. I had a serious illness this summer. Since then, I haven't been in good health. My worker, who often walks with me, mentioned it. He said that he had tried this medicine and it worked well. He recommended me to try it, but I couldn't buy it after going to a few pharmacies. He didn't live nearby. After hearing the friend's introduction, he first went to the pharmacy near his home to inquire about it. He went to 2 or 3 pharmacies, but they didn't have the medicine, so he took a taxi to the clinic. No wonder he looks a little unfamiliar, Pan thought. Generally, the people who came to her clinic were some old people nearby. Of course, there were also people from other places, but only a few. Wait a moment. I'll get it for you. May brought 2 bottles of medicine for the old man. Is this medicine effective? The old man asked. The main effect of this medicine is to nourish the body, May said with a smile. Recently, several old people have come to get this medicine. They all said that it works well after taking it. May said with a smile. She was telling the truth. In the past 2 days, she knew that 6 or 7 old people had come to buy this medicine. That's good. With one more person saying so, he had more confidence in his heart. In fact, it was just a bottle of medicine, and it was a medicine that nourished the body. This medicine is selling well. Should I buy more of it? That was what she thought, but Zheng Wei-jun, who had just returned from outside, didn't think so. He used his original connections to sell the first batch of primordial spirit soup. Then, he came back to discuss with Wang Yao and arrange for a second batch of medicine to be produced. It was quickly produced and was now in the warehouse. However, those customers hadn't called to continue to increase their orders, which meant that the first batch of medicine hadn't been sold yet. He naturally knew where the problem was. He sighed softly. These people, there was no other way. The situation was stronger than the person. Now, he wasn't in charge. On the other hand, doubt gave him a big surprise. They said that the sales were good and that they were going to ask for a second batch of goods. This was thanks to the power of the Sun family. In fact, this was a simple matter for them. After all, they had considerable influence in Dao. As long as they passed the word to the major hospitals, they would be happy to buy this favor. What should he do next? He sat in front of the window and thought. He only turned off the lights and went to sleep late at night. The next day, the sun shone brightly. There were more people in the clinic. This wave of cold current caused many people to catch a cold and have a fever. There were several people in the village. Most of them were old people with weak immune systems. These patients were easy to treat. Most of them could be cured with a few doses of medicine. When it was close to noon, he heard a voice after he finished treating the last patient. The host meets the upgrade requirements. Do you wish to upgrade? The voice that he had not heard for a long time sounded again. Upgrade. Character level. 10 profession level. Apothecary. You are worthy of the title Apothecary. The reward this time was not a bag of seeds, but a small sapling. Kongwood. High-grade spirit grass. This was a woody plant with purple leaves and silver hairs. It grew a foot every 10 years and 10 feet every 30 years. Its fruit was shaped like a peach or plum. When eaten, it could calm the 5 internal organs, lighten the body, and prevent aging. Its leaves could dispel all kinds of evil energy and get rid of diseases in the stomach. High grade, Wang Yao was pleasantly surprised. This was the first time he had seen a top-grade spiritual herb. Its medicinal efficacy, just the light body and ageless, alone was quite amazing. Other than that, there was one more thing. This time, he chose to treat. He received a medical skill. Medicinal bath. In short, the medicinal bath's mechanism was that the medicine acted on the skin surface of the whole body, the local part, and the affected part. It was absorbed by the body, followed the meridians and blood vessels, and reached the internal organs from the outside to the inside. Medicinal baths could dredge the meridians, promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis, expel wind and cold, clear heat and detoxify, reduce swelling and pain, adjust yin and yang, coordinate the internal organs, circulate qi and blood, and nourish the whole body. The medicine was taken from the inside to the outside, and the medicinal bath was from the outside to the inside. Of course, this medical skill was not as simple and superficial as the medicinal baths on the market. There were many mysteries in it. The combination of the inside and outside was wonderful. Not bad, not bad. Wang Yao closed his eyes for a while. It was not the first time that he had been enlightened. He had long been used to it. When he returned home at noon, his mother had cooked a table full of dishes. Wow, it's so sumptuous. Do we have guests today? Your third uncle said he was coming, his mother said. Third uncle? Why did he come? Wang Yao said. Both of his uncles made him worry less. They were restless masters. They did not do good work and only thought about making a fortune. I don't know, Zhang Xiuing said. When the dishes were ready, Wang Yao prepared a bottle of wine. After waiting for a while, when the dishes were almost ready, his third uncle came. Why did you come so late? Wang Yao's father was a little unhappy. In terms of age, he was the oldest. There was no such thing as an elder waiting for the young. Something happened on the way. I was delayed, Wang Yao's third uncle said. Let's eat. After sitting down, Wang Yao poured a glass of wine for him. Then, the family ate together. During the meal, Wang Yao's father asked his third uncle how he was doing recently. His third uncle began to complain that he did not have enough money to spend. The house he had just bought needed to be renovated. In the end, he stated his purpose of coming. He wanted to borrow money. How much money do you want to borrow? Wang Fenghua asked. Well, 100,000 yuan. 100,000 yuan? Zhang Xiuing was unhappy. He really had the nerve to ask. He had given up a good job and resigned. He did not do proper work all day. Her son helped him find a job. It was an office job. It was leisurely. She had also asked her son. The monthly salary was more than 4,000 yuan. In this small town, it was considered a middle class. Those who worked hard all day in the factory could only earn that much money in a month. He came to complain because of Wang Yao. She was angry as she listened to him. It still needs to be renovated. What kind of house can be renovated for 100,000 yuan? Wang Fenghua asked. Their small town was not like the first or second-tier big cities. Ordinary renovations could be done for around 50,000 yuan. Wang Yao ate at the side and did not say much. Although this third uncle was his elder, he did not like him deep down. He was even a little annoyed. He did not act like an elder at all. He was a man in his 40s, but he did not have any sense of responsibility. He only knew how to complain all day long. This was the best time for a man to be in his prime. Logically speaking, it was the best time for a man to have a certain amount of work experience, social experience, and ability accumulation. However, this third uncle was a typical person who did not have anything he wanted. He could not do this or that. This was not the first time he came to borrow money. Last time, he had received 50,000 yuan. It was just 2 months ago. He said he would return it before the Chinese New Year. He had money, not to mention 100,000. Even 1,000,000 would not be a problem. But to put it bluntly, he would rather do charity and donate to the poor children in the mountainous areas than lend money to his relatives. At the very least, the poor children in the mountainous areas knew how to be grateful and repay their kindness. His relatives were typical ingrates who could not be fed well. Didn't I lend you 50,000 yuan in July? At that time, I also said it was to renovate the house, Wang Fenghua said. Isn't that not enough? Wang Yao's third uncle smiled and said, Not enough. You still need 100,000 yuan. What do you want a house to look like? Wang Fenghua did not care about the unnatural embarrassment on his third brother's face. It was as if he did not see it at all. Well, Wang Yao's third uncle did not know how to answer for a moment. Have you picked up any bad habits? Wang Fenghua asked. Well, of course not. With just a glance, Wang Yao knew that his third uncle was lying. Your heart is beating faster, your eyes are blinking unnaturally, and you don't dare to look at it. There's a problem. You really picked up a bad habit. Wang Yao looked at his third uncle carefully. Looking at his expression, he was not in good spirits. He drank a lot of wine and probably had a lot of women. Smelling the smell, his breath was scorching hot and rancid. He smoked a lot. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.